Mm-hmm.
All right, let me see if I can hear it now. All right, yeah, we have good audio. We're good to go. All right, so your proposition is North Korea is innocent.
Correct. I believe it is innocent.
So we might not disagree. So what do you mean? Let's start with innocent. What do you mean by innocent?
So by innocent, I mean that it is not as horrible as today's media describes it to be. It is not. It is. I think it is misunderstood as a nation, as it is often seen as a nation that purposefully isolated itself, as a nation that mistreats its citizens frequently for no reason. And I believe it's a great nation that has a lot of potential.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
by misunderstood, yeah, they are heavily demonized um, by many nations around the world, particularly Western nations. But yeah, that's my opinion. I don't think they're as horrible as they're made out to be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, and what do you mean by they? So who is they? I mean, North Korea
In terms,
is are, aren't they under the rule? Like, do they have a democracy? When you say they, is it a democratic country?
in terms of they, you mean so? You mean like okay? So by they, if I'm understanding you correctly, I was referring to the DPRK, North Korea. Yes, they are democratic. Yes, they do have, in my opinion, they do have democratic elections, but they have absolutely been impacted. So since the formation of since the formation of North Korea, the Workers' Party of Korea has been winning at every single election that they've held. Um, and I think it's due to the fact that it has done so much for the country that citizens don't really vote for any other party, even though some vote, some do, most don't. Most just stick with what they've been voting for before. But yes, I do believe that they have democratic elections.
Okay. What's your evidence that they have democratic elections?
Well, they have different parties, and they're. I mean, they have different parties, and while the majority does vote for the Workers' Party of Korea,
What? Okay.
again, you're allowed to be part of a different party. You're allowed to
Wait, wait.
represent a differing standpoint.
Hold on. I'm looking for evidence. So let's start with maybe the date of the last election was held in Korea. Do you have that? Do you have evidence of that date? Any evidence that we could review?
Um,
What was
well,
the
in
date?
2019, I think if I'm not wrong,
What's your
um,
evidence? What's your evidence that there was? What's the date? Give me a date and then present your evidence. We'll review the evidence together.
I think the last one was 2019, if I'm not
I need
mistaken.
a date, like a day. Usually elections are on a specific day of a year.
All right, so I'm looking at it right now.
Mm-hmm.
March
Share.
10th, 2019.
Could you share the link?
Would you? Yeah, sure. I'll post it in chat.
In the chat of this room.
Yes.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, so this is Wikipedia. 2019 North Korea parliamentary election. So this is parliamentary election. Is this also for the leader himself? Does this include the leader, or how is
Yeah. As you can see, it says
parliamentary
Lee
elections
Kim
were
Jong Un.
held in North Korea on 10 March 2019 to elect the members of the 14th Supreme People's Assembly. The elections were announced on 6 January 2019 with only wait, one candidate on the ballot? Oh, in each constituency, outside observers described it as a show election. 1 second.
Yeah, outside observers,
So outside
which again
observers. So
are inherently biased.
inherently
As you
biased?
know,
What do you mean?
I think yes, because as I've said, DPRK or North Korea is
So
heavily demonized. So I think it's hard to have an objective standpoint. Even I understand that I'm biased, but I think it's hard to have an objective standpoint. And
so I don't. If
yeah,
you're biased, how are you biased?
I think we're all biased. I
Okay.
don't think there's anyone with a completely objective opinion, but the point of this
So
debate is to
so let's
work
not wait.
slowly.
No, hold on. I'm looking for evidence. Obviously, I would agree that there's no absolute anything in this universe. So I'm not looking for the word absolute. We can remove. We can take off the table. So there's no absolute objectivity. So I'm looking for a relative objectivity. Relative objectivity is outside observer. Could could have been you. You could have gone there to be an outside of anyone, right? I mean, there's outside observers. So I mean, if the outside observers, I mean, that's our. As far as I'm concerned, this is a Wikipedia article. So Wikipedia, I would say it's relatively objective, and Wikipedia said
Yeah,
outside observers described it as a show election. So it doesn't sound like it.
right. Let's treat it as a non-biased and objective.
Yeah,
I
relatively
mean,
objective. Unless we have a reason to suspect this Wikipedia entry, so I don't have. But for now, we don't have a reason to suspect it that it was paid by one of the sides, or right. It's Wikipedia. I
going
mean,
to be paid, but let's.
Wikipedia.
I mean, it doesn't state my issue with this. I mean, you only asked me for the dates, but my issue with this is I don't see where it says, or maybe I've missed it, but I don't see where it says who the people, who the outside observers were.
Well, we can review it, but I said present your evidence, and we'll review it together. I'm open minded to anything. I don't care. I'm objective. I don't care. What do I care? I don't have a side. I don't have a horse in this race. I'm reviewing the evidence with you. We're reading Wikipedia. Wikipedia says that outside observers said that they described it as a show election. So it sounds like there was never this was elections did not take place, and the inverse, I would say, of elections, a show election.
Yes, but do you understand why it's an issue that they don't state who these outside observers were? Because for all we know, outside observers could be Fox News. That's my issue with this.
Right, we
My
don't.
issue is that it's not
But
stated who the outside observers were.
this is Wikipedia. When Wikipedia says outside observers, we can go into the details, but whoever wrote this entry themselves, they are relatively objective. I would say that even Fox News is relatively objective. Fox News, as far as I know, doesn't. Why would it have a side in this debate? In this, in the
I
whether
use that as an objective. I use it as an example, but I wouldn't agree that Fox News is objective. But that's a different topic for a different time. But my point is that these outside observers could have been anyone, and I just yeah, I don't believe that.
look,
Like I don't really see where it states who these observers were.
Fox
Are
News.
these
Look, I don't. I Fox News is, as far as I know, there are rating agencies for sources, for news sources.
yeah, yeah.
So there's NewsGuard, and as far as I know, NewsGuard certifies Fox News probably at around 10 out of 10 or something close, probably as high as possible, as far as I know. So if you trust NewsGuard, I think you should trust Fox News. It doesn't matter though. We have a Wikipedia entry here that we trust. unless you can review it, because Wikipedia is transparent, so you could see exactly who edited. You can see the history of the editing of this entry. You could go and probably talk to the people that edited this entry. There is a conversation tab in Wikipedia. So I mean, Wikipedia is created by people like you. So again, it's
I'm aware, but I'm saying, like, I'm looking through the sources right now.
Anyway.
And honestly, I'm not seeing a lot. Anyways, yeah.
Fine. I mean, but it's you could you we can you can anyone can delve deeper into this Wikipedia entry, but for now, since we don't have any reason to suspect this Wikipedia entry, we can for now assume it's valid relatively. So I'll ask again. So this is a fake election. According to Wikipedia, this was a show election. So I have to ask again, when was, according to you, the last actual, not show, but actual election in North Korea? What's your evidence presented? We'll review it. This is fake. What you're presenting, your source that you're presenting calls it a show election. That's your source. So your source says that there is no
You didn't. I stated to you. No, the thing is, I told you when the last election was, and you asked me, "Can you give me your Can you give me a source?" I gave you a source that told you when the last election happened. I never claimed that I
It's not
agreed
an
with the
election.
source.
It's not. It's called a show
And
election.
that's what I'm. That's why I have. That's my issue with your standpoint, because I do not agree with this. I
You,
do not
you
believe
get.
that it was a show election.
I don't.
I've
Look,
pointed out several times that there is
you're
no.
so you're
I'm
contradicting.
not seeing.
You're contradicting the evidence. I asked you for evidence. You present your evidence. Now you're contradicting the evidence you presented. You can retract your evidence. That's fine. But I'll ask you again. What's your
No,
evidence?
no, because you asked me. You didn't. You never said that wasn't your original statement. Your statement was, "Show me the last time there was an election in North Korea." You didn't state legitimate or illegitimate, so I just sent you the first source that came when it comes up when you search up North Korea election. If you had asked me to point out, like, I don't understand what you're. So I only gave you a source because I wanted to show you that there are elections. But I don't agree with Wikipedia. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't agree with what they're saying here.
I understand. Look, I completely
And it's
understand.
not, again, it's not Wikipedia's standpoint. It's they're just saying that there are outside observers that would say it's a show election.
Look, I completely understand you. I'm not saying I don't understand you. I completely understand you. I understand how you feel. In the past, I used to agree with you. I used to believe the same thing. I also used to. I held in the past. I used to hold your opinion. The one you have now is very similar to the one I had until not too long ago, actually. So so I understand how you feel. I understand. But I'm trying to. So I never had such a conversation with anyone who would have shed light on this topic. So I believe I used to be wrong about this topic, and today I feel more confident relative to the previous position that I used to hold. So I'm trying to shed light for you to see the light that I've seen. I used to believe North Korea is innocent, and I no longer hold this position. I'm just trying. This is why we're debating. We're here for you. I'm open-minded to see that I'm wrong, and that previously I was right, and North Korea is terrific. But uh, I, you know,
Right.
I, so we should both.
So you were aware, right? As you're aware that North Korea is a place that doesn't really let information about itself go out. Like, we don't know a lot about North Korea. So it's going to be difficult.
I wouldn't.
Um,
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say that because there are people who visited North Korea and wrote books about it. They're experts about North Korea. I relatively trust them as objective relative to North Korea. I used to study a lot about North Korea. For me, there was plenty of information. I reviewed it. I used to believe it's innocent, but now
Yes, but my issue is that most nations that criticize North Korea are the ones that are sanctioning
I'm
it.
not I'm not discussing any criticism or sanctions. I'm not discussing that. I'm discussing the first thing we that came up, one of the first topics is this elections. So first I need to confirm with you that you agree that elections were not held on 10 March 2019 according to one of the most viable sources, valid sources we have in the known universe, namely Wikipedia.
But you're misinterpreting the statement. It's not
Mhm,
Wikipedia claiming that it was an illegitimate like election. It's a statement
mhm,
that says, "Oh, outside observers believe that it was an illegitimate election." Never did say like they're just stating that some people thought it was illegitimate. They never stated that it was illegitimate. I'd agree with you if Wikipedia went and said, okay, it's illegitimate, all right, that would make sense, right? But they're not stating that. They're stating some people, outside observers, which are not named, which they could be heavily biased, they
yeah,
could be objective, we don't know.
mhm,
Some of those observers believe that it was a show election.
mhm,
So it's not. I believe that you're misinterpreting the statement.
mhm.
But
Do you have
let's
any
say, all right,
do you have any
all right, let's say,
evidence? Mhm,
all right, all right. Let's say they don't have legitimate elections. All right.
mhm,
Let's say they don't have legitimate elections. Some countries don't have elections at all.
mhm.
All right, that's fine. Um, but what does that change
It
for the Korean people?
it completely changes your proposition. So it has not your proposition is North Korea is innocent, and you said they, talking about North Korea. So I asked who is they. So in order to nail down the they, if it's if North Korea is a democracy, then you could say based on democratic elections, they is the people of North Korea. But if we don't have,
Well,
mhm.
it's their word. It's the word of North Korea against the word of
What do you mean?
whatever these sources are.
What
Though.
do you mean North Korea?
Well,
You say North Korea. What do you mean? Who? I need a
the
name.
government specifically, the ambassadors. I mean, they're stating that they have legitimate elections, but I don't. But all right,
But they
I
are.
get your point. I get your.
Hold on. But they are biased. So I mean, talk about
Well,
an illegitimate or a biased uh, witness or testimony. I mean, obviously, someone who works and is part of the regime, part of the government, obviously they are biased. Of course, they would self legitimize. So, of course, we should ignore their so called opinion. We don't even
do you have any non-biased sources that would point to the elections being illegitimate?
wait. So, you agree that it's insignificant, basically. It's very biased and should be basically. I would
I agree that it's biased, but my standpoint is
wait.
that these are. It's again, it's biased against bias. You have one bias which is saying,
No,
all right,
no. We have you're presenting you're presenting the government of North Korea as talking about itself.
yeah, exactly. That's
Wait
the
a minute.
point. I'm saying they're biased. They're absolutely biased. I agree with you. I
Wait,
agree that we shouldn't be taking a very biased opinion
wait.
as fact. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You have Western, you have people from the West. I don't have exactly the names, but you have people from the West obviously claiming that those elections are illegitimate.
Let me
They're
ask.
also biased. We shouldn't be taking them into account.
Let me ask.
That's why I'm asking you. Do you have any objective research that would point to the elections being illegitimate.
I don't need to. I'm asking you. You have a
Well,
proposition.
you have a claim here. Your claim
No,
is
I don't.
that
No, I know I don't have a claim. I'm open-minded. I don't have a claim. I'm trying to understand your proposition at this point, and that's all. Your proposition is North Korea, and I'm trying to nail down what do you mean by North Korea? The people of North Korea. Okay, so I said if it's a democracy, then we could look at the results of the election of the last election as the will, quote unquote, of the people of North Korea. But if there is no democratic
well, every
election,
election that's ever been held in North Korea has had the same result. The Workers' Party of Korea won, which yes, logically would maybe point to illegitimate elections, but my stance on it, my personal stance on it, is that if the Workers' Party of Korea had done so much for the Korean people, obviously they would be reelected. But again, I don't want you to think that I think that North Korea is a sinless country. There's definitely a lot of propaganda in play. There's definitely a lot of propaganda, a lot of idolization, a lot of it's not as if they have they're not. I could agree with you that they're not fully legitimate. Um, but I don't think that they're just completely rigged. Do you get what I mean?
yeah, and I look, I told you already. I used to believe I used to believe the same. So not too long ago, probably until I would say a year or more, or approximately a year ago, I would have said similar things to you. Maybe 2 years, 3 years. That's when I start. At one point, I started questioning uh, how innocent and so on, as your proposition says. I started questioning
Yeah. Yeah.
the legitimacy of the North Korean regime. So I understand you. I understand. Let me guess. You support Putin as well.
No,
Really?
I don't support Putin. Yeah, I don't because I think North Korea has this form of socialism, whereas Putin is just. I don't support his actions taken against Ukraine. I don't think he's a good representative of.
But
No, I don't support Putin.
North Korea just just had
Has deals. I know. I saw.
yeah. So North Korea now supports Putin. So North Korea is going to help Putin in his war against Ukraine. So
I don't think. I think there. I don't think. I mean, that I haven't seen. I researched it myself. If you have any sources that prove otherwise, but I haven't seen anyone like from the DPRK from North Korea, any like general or Kim Jong Un himself saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna help Russia in their invasion of Ukraine." Because I honestly believe that
wait,
North Korea does not have the weapons for that.
what does DPRK stand for?
Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
So you still think you said let's assume it's not democratic. So you want to go back to saying it is democratic?
No, but that's their official name. North Korea is not the name. It's just what it's. We could call it a nickname, but the official name is the DPRK.
What do you mean official name?
Just like for South Korea,
Who gave it that
that's the
name?
name.
Whose name?
You have.
Who gave it the name DPRK?
I don't like.
What is
They were formed.
what is the official
The official name. The official name is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Now, I'm not exactly sure if it was them that named themselves out or if it was the USSR which gave them independence. Either way, the official name on every United Nations document, the official name is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Like, for example, you have South Korea. It's not actually called South Korea. It's the Republic of Korea, but we just call it South Korea because you have two Koreas. One is northern, one is southern. But that's the official name. The official name is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Whether they are democratic or not is an issue which we've explored. My personal stance on it is that they are sort of democratic, like they
What's your
hold
evidence?
elections, but
What's your evidence that they're sort of democratic?
because they're holding elections,
What's your
but the
evidence?
issue is
What's your
they're not
evidence?
they're not
What's
the
your
same.
evidence?
They're not the same.
What's your evidence that they're holding elections?
They're holding
What's your evidence?
they're holding
Could
elections.
you show me?
They're holding
Could you show the
elections.
evidence? Could you
All
show
right,
the
I
evidence?
sent you the source.
The source says
Why
that
are
it's
people
fake.
saying it's a show election?
The source you quoted says it's a show election. You have a
No,
source
it
that
doesn't.
says
It doesn't. As I've stated before, you're misinterpreting the statement. It says the statement in the source that I gave you is outside viewers, people from the outside believe that it was illegitimate. That is not my
yeah,
source
that's your
stating it.
source. Do you
That
have
is
look your
no.
source? Your source says that outside observers describe it as a show
Exactly.
election.
Outside
Do you have
observers.
do
It
you
doesn't
have do you have
say
any source? Do you have any source that says contrary that it was not show election? Do you have any source? Any evidence?
it says
Please present any
yeah,
evidence.
outside observers described it as a show election, which doesn't mean that my source is saying
Do you have
it doesn't state.
show me
There's a difference. Do you understand?
can you show me
There's a large
fine.
difference.
Yes, can you show me evidence that outside observers said that it is not show election, that it's a legitimate election? Out of all the
If you could
observers,
give me a chance to speak, I would gladly explain to you why
Just-
it's regarded as a show election.
I understand. You don't have to
All right.
convince me. I understand. No, I don't.
No, I'm
looking
not
for evidence.
convincing you. I'm explaining to you
I-
why it's
I-
sort of legitimate. All right. They're holding elections.
Show me
they're not
show me
rigged.
the evidence. Show me the evidence. Please show me the evidence. How do you know this? Show me the evidence that outside observers said that it's not show election.
That's not my statement. Why would I need to? That's not my statement.
So how do you know? So what's your evidence that there was a non-show election? What's your evidence?
My statement is okay.
Evidence.
You have an election.
How do
You
you
have
know?
an
What's your
election. I
evidence?
sent you. All right. I sent you the elections. Right. Outside observers described it as a show election. The reason it is described as a show election is because it's not completely legitimate.
What do you mean not
Right?
completely? It's completely illegitimate.
Because
it's a show election.
I'm explaining to you why.
It's completely
Right?
illegitimate.
Because
Give me evidence.
if you've researched, as you said, you researched the topic of North Korea, you would know that mass amounts of propaganda exist. All right?
No,
Massive amounts of propaganda exist.
no, I never.
Yes,
I never,
yes,
never
yeah.
thought- What's your evidence? What's your evidence?
What do you mean my evidence for the fact that there's mass amounts of propaganda?
Against North Korea?
No, for North Korea, for not even North. It's specifically for the Workers' Party of Korea. Are you familiar with the term Paek-2 bloodline?
I'm trying to nail down. I don't want to switch topic.
I'm explaining to you,
No, I
but
don't
you
wanna
keep
explain. I just
interrupting
want
me.
evidence. No,
There
I'm
is
not
a
looking
mass.
for
There's
explanations.
so
I'm not looking for explanation.
you're looking for this one specific thing, the statement that I have never said.
You call
So
it.
the
You're
thing
saying
is,
it's sort of legitimate. I'm saying it's completely
Yes.
illegitimate. No, it's completely. There's
I'm not. It's not.
show me any evidence
All right.
of democracy.
What would you consider a legitimate election? What would you consider a legitimate election?
Show me a source that says that, for example,
Can you define a legitimate election?
Yes.
All right. Can you define a legitimate election for me? And then we'll see if what's happening.
For example, if outside observers describe it as an election, not as show election.
No, you can't. That's not. A country holds an election. What would make it? So you're saying that what makes a country's elections legitimate is outside observers.
That's an example. That say it's not show.
No, I didn't ask for example. I asked you for your own definition for
now,
what you
let's
consider
go-
to be.
For now, let's go with such a definition that outside observers.
So you're okay. So that you're stating that as your current definition.
Yeah.
Do you understand why that could be an issue?
Yeah. Of course.
because
Yeah, I understand. You don't have to
it's an
explain.
issue
You don't have to explain.
because
Stop explaining. You're wasting time. Stop explaining. I said I understand. I didn't ask for an explanation. I'm looking for evidence. I understand it's problematic this way, that. I understand everything. I used to believe exactly what you believe. You don't have to explain.
I
Don't have to explain.
what do you mean? I'm getting you to think critically,
I used to
but
think
you're
exactly
refusing that.
like you. I used to be pro.
I
There's probably
sincerely
evidence
doubt
you
it
can
if
find.
you're relying on outside observers
You don't have to
that
explain.
if
You don't
if
have to
your
explain.
metric of
You
legitimacy
don't
is
have to
outside
explain.
observers.
You don't have to explain. I understand. Look, you have a different definition for an election? What's your definition for an
Are you
election?
asking me or are you telling me?
I'm asking, what's your definition? Present your definition for an election. You said I gave you the definition. I proposed
A
it.
legitimate election. A legitimate. So
Yes.
my definition of a legitimate election is an election where people are free to vote. There's multiple parties. Okay, so there's not just one party. There's multiple, and people are allowed to vote for any party without any repercussions. That would be my. Do you have an issue with my definition?
Of course. That's I'm looking for some metric. Your definition doesn't have a metric, doesn't have a way to measure. So I proposed a metric. I made it scientific. Your definition is not scientific. It's a nice definition, but it's not scientific.
No, you don't have a metric. Your metric is outside observers,
That's a
which is
metric.
flawed.
That's fine, but it's a metric. It's a measurement. What's your measurement?
Why do I need a measurement?
It's unscientific.
For if
It's
you have, it's not.
then
It's
your
either
then your proposition is unscientific, and we cannot debate an unscientific proposition.
Okay, logically, but why do we need?
It's unscientific. There's nothing to talk about. It doesn't belong.
They're either legitimate or non-legitimate. But what I'm telling you, by my definition,
Show me the measurement. Show me how you measure your proposition. Otherwise, it's unscientific. I have nothing to say about unscientific claims, except for
okay, the amount of repercussions or benefits that you would get from voting one party.
What's your measurement? How do you
over
measure?
the other?
How do you measure your election? Right? I gave you a measurement for the definition of an election. What's your measure? How do you measure the election? What's your measurement? What's your metric? I gave a metric.
If your metric, so your metric, if I understood correctly, your metric is outside.
My metric. What's your metric?
My metric, as I've just stated, is the amount of repercussions or benefits a citizen gets for voting one party over the other.
Okay, whatever. Show me the evidence you have this metric. What's your evidence for this metric? Who conducted this experiment?
What evidence are you? I'm literally. That's not
data.
my.
Show me the data. Show me the data for the experiment you just proposed. What's the data? Show me the data. You just proposed a scientific experiment. Fine, show me the data.
Yeah, I proposed it, but I didn't say there was backing.
So,
I told you.
So the experiment was never conducted. Fine, then you're making a proposition. You have a hypothesis. You never conducted an experiment, so it's useless. So it's still unscientific.
I don't see what's not connecting. I'm telling you that the elections are held, like people can vote.
Fine.
Right? There are no repercussions.
Fine, it's good.
People can vote.
Whatever.
Okay?
You just did.
But there's mass amounts of propaganda. So, okay, I have a question for you. Would you consider, so there's mass amounts of propaganda. You know this.
I don't even know.
Okay.
What how is this,
and that no. Okay. There's mass amounts of propaganda.
What do you? I don't know.
And
what you mean.
It's centered around one party. It's centered around one party.
I don't know what you.
Okay.
I don't know.
And that party wins.
I don't know. I don't know. You want to? I don't know, and I don't know how it's related to this discussion. I don't.
No, it's because that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Listen,
I don't
there is a party.
I don't know.
No, because you're not. Because if you can't answer that question, then there's no point in discussing elections with you. You have a valid point. I agree. It's very important to have outside observers. But I'm telling you right now, it's very different. Yes, it's practically. I'm telling you. So there's a lot of propaganda for the Workers' Party of Korea. When they're in power, they generate mass amounts of propaganda that makes citizens vote for them again. That's not legitimate. Is it or is it not? Is it legitimate or is it not? Sorry.
I don't have a position. Yeah, yeah, of course it's legitimate. I don't see a problem with that.
So it's legitimate, even though there has been mass amounts of propaganda centered around that one specific party, right? Which we have proof of. I can send you the fucking images. You have.
I'm not
I don't
contradicting.
know
So
if you
what's the
listen.
point? Don't explain. Don't. I said I admit. I concede this. I don't care. So don't continue. Just continue. Continue your cross examination. What do you do? Where are you going with this? I said I don't care. It's legitimate. It's fine. Continue. What's your point? I don't care.
So it's
Propaganda,
legitimate.
propaganda. Yes, there's
Okay.
propaganda. How is this related to our discussion? I don't care. I don't see how it's.
Because that's what's happening. Because
What?
that's what they're doing. They're out there. They're
But
generating
I
mass.
grant you, I don't care. You said, do I consider it legitimate?
Yes, but you asked me how does this. You asked me how this relates to our discussion, and I just told you that's precisely what's happening. That's how it relates. I'm describing you the situation that's happening.
I didn't ask. Look, you asked me. No, please let me complete a sentence. You asked me, is it legitimate that the ruling party is running propaganda to prompt itself, to promote itself? I told you, yes, it's legitimate. I don't care. I would continue and say every party in the world does that. That's part of democracy. It's fine. So let's ignore it. I grant you that that does not contradict democracy. So fine. So no need to talk about it. Why? I grant you that. I concede that. That point I concede. So you don't need to talk about it.
But you're misunderstanding my statement. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
It doesn't matter. I concede.
They're the only.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. All right. You know what? Whatever. Okay. Whatever.
What do you mean, whatever?
I have nothing to say. If you have no position to defend, that I don't have anything to state to you. If you're saying I grant you that, then you are in agreement with me that those elections, the results of those elections, are a direct result of that mass amount of propaganda and brainwashing.
No, I didn't concede that.
But you are not. But you haven't answered my question of whether you would consider that to be legitimate. I think you actually did state that it's legitimate.
It's legitimate for anyone to say anything about anyone. Freedom of speech is legitimate. So I don't care about that. That's irrelevant to our discussion. It's orthogonal to the discussion. It has nothing to do with the discussion. Freedom of speech, I don't care. So the ruling party says things about itself. Fine, I don't care. Irrelevant. Does not impact our discussion. You said election.
All right. So, all right. Let's say I grant you this. Let's say, all right, I agree with you that the elections are illegitimate, although your source is outside observers. All right. Let's grant you that.
Wait, you spoke.
What now?
You touched the mic, so your half sentence was.
Oops. Sorry.
Weird.
So let's say I grant you that. I say, okay, you're saying that the elections are legitimate, even though your sources are outside observers, which are not stated. But okay, let's say they are legitimate. What now? What does that change besides the fact that, okay, they're not a democratic nation? It's not the first one. It's not the first one that we've seen. We have the United Arab Emirates as well. They don't have a democracy that I know of. So what now?
So your proposition is North Korea is innocent. So what do you mean by North Korea? Who? Give me a name. Give me names. What do you mean by North Korea? So
you're stating. Okay. Well, I would say, I think specifically, I would say the government.
Give me a name.
Or the leading party.
List of names. I need names. I have nothing.
Kim Il-sung, Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-un.
The leader himself, he's innocent?
The leaders are
No, is.
innocent
I need
again.
a name. Let's talk about one person. We'll go then to the next person. Give me one name so we can start talking. Who do you mean is innocent? Give me a name.
All right. Kim Jong Un. Let's say. Okay.
Is
We'll
that-
start with them, can we?
yeah, sure. Is he the current leader of North Korea, Kim Jong Un?
Yep, he's the current supreme leader of North Korea.
Okay, so you're saying he's innocent?
Innocent of the crimes that he's accused. Yes.
Wait, you okay? Okay, so you're saying, so do you want to modify the name of the room, or what do you want to do? Because right now your room is contradicting your current proposition.
In what way specifically?
What do you mean? In North, what do you mean? When you say North Korea, what do you mean? North Korea sounds like the nation of.
Well, you want to?
We agreed that.
All right. Let's change it to. Do you want me to change it to North Korean government? Since in the end will be this. Yeah, I mean
Oh,
North Korea.
you know what? Fine, it's fine.
When we're talking about, there's a channel in the server that we're in. It's called Russia and Ukraine, Israel versus Palestine, Israel.
Yeah, but these are.
Obviously, we're not talking about the people.
Look, these are democracies. So the
Russia is a democracy.
as far as I know, I didn't know otherwise. Putin is
Okay,
very popular.
All right, there we'll change the name to North Korean.
You can
Or we'll
change
just
the
change
name.
it to Workers' Party of.
Okay, I'll also write the proposition. The proposition is Kim Jong
There.
Un or Il. I think it's Un. Kim Jong Un is in. Kim Jong Un is innocent. That's the question. WPK candidates? No,
Workers' Party of Korea
it
candidates.
doesn't matter. No one is gonna know what is WPK. I don't know. Workers Party Korea. What is WPK?
Workers' Party of Korea, yes, candidates. Because as you said, because we'll be discussing all of them, I assume. So we're starting with Kim Jong Un, but
Yeah,
I'm assuming we're just gonna work
it's
it
enough.
out.
It's enough to talk.
So
about
let's
person.
start.
You're saying Kim Jong.
All right, all right.
Of what? For example, of what crime?
Deliberate starving of his people, I'd say. Let's start with that one, shall we? Like he starves his people on purpose. I've heard that one a lot from a lot of different people.
Give me the name of a person that made this accusation.
All right. I mean, I don't have an.
I'll give you a name.
What do you mean?
I'll give you a name. There's a YouTube video of a woman that escaped North Korea. She talks about it.
Yeonmi Park or a different one?
Yeah.
You want to talk about Yeonmi Park, or you want to talk about
I want a name of an accuser so we can, put, I need
Okay, Yeonmi Park. Yeonmi Park accuses the regime of starving people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeonmi. All right, Yeonmi Park starvation. Horrific effects of the starvation. They kept us starved. Okay, let's copy this. Let's maybe even watch it together.
We are so hungry.
To remind you that Yeonmi Park is funded by Turning Point USA, which is a conservative group, meaning that if she had any pro-North Korean statements or views, she would immediately be fired. And so literally her job depends on spreading this rhetoric.
Sure, I understand. Yeah, I'm playing her video, a short. You can watch it on the YouTube video, or you can watch it with me so we can discuss it.
Some even children would like look for grains in animal feces. I myself had
Yeah, I think we can play together. We can play it. Um, they kept us starving. Let's see if I could do that. Oh, I can't. It's going to freeze my recording. It's a known issue.
Don't worry, I'm watching it right now.
Okay.
to eat grasshoppers, dragonflies, and anything I could find in nature to survive in North Korea. And this is based on the regime's policy that North Korea conducted more than 40 missile tests for over the last 3 years. One missile test is the price where he can feed the entire nation of North Korean people entire year. The
Yep.
reason why we are starving is if we had like full, stomach of food in our belly, we are going to start thinking about meaning of life. So if they kept us starving like that, the only thing is going for us to worrying about is finding next meal.
Okay. So we have an
So I
accuser.
watched it.
Okay. Wait, one
Mhm.
second. I have comments from people.
Of course, of
America
course, of
needs
course.
a democracy. Also, instead of Israel picking USA leaders, America needs a democracy. Bird nest rat fest. I don't know what they mean. Assange just now escaped America. Okay, that's not relevant. Okay. Thank you, Birdnest Ratfest, for the comments. By the way, we have 2 viewers on YouTube. Not a lot.
Interesting.
In the future, there's going to be more watching this. It's an interesting topic. Anyway, yeah. So we heard you own me accuse
Yeah, yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So we heard her. So she says. So you're saying Kim Jong Un is innocent of this crime? Hmm.
Yes, I think because she's talking about, if you've heard her points, she's saying that he like deliberately starves his people, like he's doing it on purpose
Yes. Okay, hold on.
so that he keeps them hungry and prevents them from thinking about the meaning of life, which would, by her theory,
Hold on.
make them understand that it's a bad place to live.
Hold on. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So she's accusing him. So you claiming that Kim Jong Un is innocent? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
of this crime
Mm-hmm.
of deliberately starving the people.
Yes.
But she says no. This is deliberate starvation.
Yes, that's her opinion, but she has no, like, she says, oh, I was hungry,
Hmm.
so that means I was being deliberately starved
Well, she didn't
because
say
Kim
I
Jong
was.
Un didn't want me.
Wait. She
So
didn't say.
she's here
Wait.
talking about.
Wait. She didn't say I was starving. She said we were starving. She talked about how people eat grasshoppers. Children.
They eat that in
She.
China. Like it's not eating grasshoppers. Is not like
Well,
not a the North Korea exclusive.
I didn't say exclusive, but I don't, do you eat
They're eating
grasshoppers?
grasshoppers.
You eat grasshoppers?
No, but they eat them around Latin America. They eat them around in China and stuff.
Yeah,
So
but
it's not like.
fine, but we don't. So, but she says that they were kept. They were being starved. That's her. It's not her opinion. That's her eyewitness testimony. So her eyewitness.
No, Yeonmi Park, as why I stated before, why I
Please don't repeat.
again
Please
put an
don't.
emphasis on the fact that
Please
she.
don't repeat. Please don't repeat. I have
No,
heard you.
because that's the reason. Yes,
Please don't
that's her
repeat.
statement. Her statement is,
Please don't repeat.
as you said.
Don't, why are you wasting time? Just don't repeat. You said it once. I confirmed it. It's enough. I used to be you. It's fine.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right, great.
Okay.
So
So
Yeonmi Park is questionable if you've read her book In
why
Order
are
to
you?
Live.
Why I agree. Her opinion is not objective. I agree. You don't need to go deeper into that. I grant you.
But then you can't use her as
No, that's
a
not true.
as a
No. Yes,
source
you can. You can
if
use anything you want as a source, and you can reduce the objectivity, you could reduce how much you certified as a source, but you could still, it's entered into protocol, it's submitted as evidence, and then, we can cross-examine the source and claim that, in the final verdict, you could say, I choose to disregard it. That's fine, but anything is a legitimate source. You can say it came to me in a dream. Fine, that's a source. Very, very illegitimate, but it's a source. It's fine. So we don't look. We have her with her eyewitness testimony. You could invalidate her. You could say whatever, that she's being paid to say it, and so on. That's fine. But she says that they were starved. And she also says that she has a theory, a scientific theory. She has a theory that it was deliberate. And why? Because the government doesn't want people to think too much. They want the people to be busy, starving and looking for food and so on. Well, makes sense. Not that it doesn't make any sense. Okay, but you claim that Kim Jong-un is innocent of this crime.
Yeah.
Okay. You agree that if it's true, it's a crime? If he is deliberately starving the people, you agree?
Yes, absolutely. If he's deliberately starving them, it's a crime.
Okay, fine. So, okay, so she says, let's start with deliberate. Let's start with just the starvation. I'm sorry. Let's start with the starvation. So, what's your theory? If not deliberately, so why are they starving?
So they are starving, but I believe it's due to sanctions.
You believe? Okay. What's your evidence?
I mean, sanctions exist,
Fine.
and
Fine. What's your evidence? What's your evidence that there is sanctions that cause this starvation? What's your evidence?
I don't quite get your. So yes, there are sanctions that reduce the amount of food that can be imported into the DPRK, how much they can buy.
What's your evidence that there are sanctions that are reducing, that are causing this starvation?
The United Nations resolution. Do you want me to name you United Nations resolution that heavily impacts the economy of the DPRK?
No, what's your evidence that the starvation is caused by something else other than deliberate? What's your evidence? Right now, there is a theory that I subscribe to. It seems logical. The world has plenty of food. It doesn't make any sense to me that the people of North Korea would be starving unless it's deliberate. We don't live in the...
That's wrong. There is starvation in every single country. This is not a North Korea exclusive, but you're doing this where you take a source.
Where?
21,000 Americans starved, okay, in 2023.
What's your evidence?
Okay.
What's your evidence that a single American was starved? You're going to present evidence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sending it to you right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry, my phone is slow.
Okay, I'll read comments. We have more comments from YouTube. So Birdnest Ratfest says 1 year America-Israel donations could help starving Koreans. Also, did you realize since Russia, Pakistan, and other bring compulsory castration for sexual predators, the West started more aggression to those lands, forcing Imran Khan Pak president out of democratically elected government. I am not following so much. Weaponized food, America story. Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
So are you able to find sources that America, a single starving American? Wait, there is a single starving American?
Are you talking about?
Is
Oh,
there?
I was talking about deaths from malnutrition. You want to talk about
You said
food
starving.
insecurity?
No, no, no,
Oh, I
no,
can,
no, no,
I
no,
can.
no, 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 no. I said starving.
Oh, I can.
No, no, no.
Ooh,
You.
I can get
Is
you. I
there?
can
No.
get you that.
Listen.
I can get
Listen
you
to the
that.
question.
Absolutely.
Listen. I'm very specific. Do you have evidence that a single American is starving, starved in the in the current age? Do you have evidence?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Fine. What's the
Yes.
name? Give me the name of the person that you know is or is starving, was being starved. Give me the name.
You don't need a name. You need
I
a
need a name.
non-profit organization.
I need a name. I
No,
need
this
a
is
name.
look. Feeding
I need a
America.
name.
It's an organization. You
I
don't
need a name.
need a name. All right.
No, no.
Why?
What do you
You
mean?
have a. You have a.
Because
You have an
because obviously,
organization
what
here.
do you mean? America is suffering from an obesity epidemic that is especially.
Yes, and yet look.
Hold on.
I
Hold on.
sent
Let
you
me
the. I
complete.
sent
Let
you the
me
second
complete.
link that I sent
Let
you.
me complete the sentence. So I claim that that's not possible because, as far as I know, America and the West right now, and not even the West, the whole world basically, is suffering from what's known as the obesity epidemic that is especially inflicting the poor Americans. So to claim that there is someone in America, even a single person, who is starving, I cannot. Give me the name. I need a name. Without a name, you have no evidence. I need a name.
That's incorrect. That is incorrect.
Ha-
You can't base your argument on I need a name. I just sent you a link. It's called feedingamerica.org. And literally it is in the description. You don't have to click on it. It says 34 million people in the United States are food insecure. Sorry, 44 million people in the United States are food insecure. Okay? Your view on things is not
Look,
objective. Just because there's an
I need
obesity
a name.
epidemic,
What do you mean? So you agree that
you don't.
what? So
There is an obesity epidemic. I agree with you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that
So
the
wait,
issue of hunger
you've both?
in
Wait, you've both obesity epidemic and
yes,
starvation?
you can have both.
I
An
don't.
obesity epidemic. There's no hunger
There's so
epidemic
much.
in the
What
United
do you
States, but
mean?
there's a
What do you mean? There's EBT. People, anyone who doesn't have any money gets. There's food banks. There's homeless shelters.
yeah.
What do you mean? So with all that, I know poor people. They're the fattest people I know. How could you say there's
Yeah.
people starving in America?
That's your experience, but your
Because they're so
experience does
fat.
not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
great.
It's just the opposite.
That's your experience. That's your experience. There can be an obesity epidemic in a country, and that country can still have starving people. It's
Wow.
called capitalism, okay? It's called fucking capitalism.
No, but it's the
Okay, you
poor.
can have people
It's the
on the
poor.
lower end of
It's the
earnings,
poor.
and they can be
No.
starving.
No, it's the poor who are inflicted by the obesity epidemic. That's what I know.
No, you can't
Give me a name.
generalize.
Give me a
No,
name.
no.
Give me a name of a single starving American. You have 34 million people to choose from. 34. That's 10% of the American population. You should have no problem giving me one name of a starving American. How difficult is it? Give me
Okay,
one
all right,
name.
all right, all right. Explain to me
No, I need a
how
name.
me not having a name. No. You're gonna explain to me how me not having a name of a starving American completely disproves my statement, which I have backed, but with objective
Because I know
fucking
these,
sources.
I know these NGOs. I know the feedingamerica.org type of NGOs. They're all over the world. They're in every country. They get money because for a cause. So they need to create a hype around the cause. If their cause is global warming, they'll create a hype around that. If their cause is women being exploited for sexuality, they'll make a hype around that. If their cause is food insecurity, they'll create a hype around that. That's how they make. They look at the salaries of the NGO members, and it's a business. So a business.
Oh, give me a source for that. Give me the source.
For no, look, you can ignore everything I said. I told you how I feel. It's fine. You don't have to. I don't want to divert the discussion. So I know how these NGOs operate. I know the hype around starvation different countries. So it's meaningless. So I need one starving American. And after you give me the name,
You
I want to see
don't.
wait. And after you give me the name, I want to see the picture. I want to see the starvation, and I want to see the starvation in the face. You should be able to see the starvation in the face. I want to see the picture. I claim you don't have a single one, but you can go looking. We can look together. I'll search with you. I'll help you. I'll steel man your position. So starving. Let's look for a starving American.
Let's see. I found KFF Health News. Memphis, Tennessee. Army veteran Eugene Milligan is 75 years old and blind. He uses a wheelchair since losing half his right leg to diabetes and gets dialysis for kidney failure. And he has struggled to get enough to eat. They talk about him burning himself, okay? Many times I felt like I was starving. Neighbors that need food too. There's people at dialysis that need food. There's hunger everywhere. So I can
You have a
send you
name?
the source.
You have a
If
name?
you want,
Yeah,
there's a
link it.
picture there. If you
Link
like pictures a lot, I
Link.
can send you the picture.
Link
All right,
the
there's
source. Link the source.
a source. September 3rd, 2019, KFF Health News.
Okay. So what's his name?
So for you to claim
What's his name?
that there is no
What's his
hunger
name?
in the United
What's
States.
his name? You said you have
Eugene Milligan. Literally, it's the first sentence. Memphis, Tennessee, Army veteran Eugene Milligan is 75 years old and blind.
Army
There's a
veteran
picture of him.
Milligan, 75 years old and blind. He used a wheelchair since losing okay, and he has struggled to get enough to eat. Earlier this year, he ended up in hospital after burning himself while boiling water for oatmeal. The long stay caused the Memphis vet to fall off a charity's rolls for home delivered meals on wheels. So he has home delivered meals on wheels.
No,
He doesn't?
he doesn't.
Oh,
It literally says
fall off.
off.
Okay.
He doesn't
So
have
the
these.
long stay. Oh, so okay. So because of the long stay in the hospital, right? In the hospital, because he burned himself.
Yeah.
So because of a technicality, he fell off the home delivered meals on wheels. So he had to rely on others, such as his son, a generous off duty nurse, and a local church to bring him food. So sounds like people brought at least three sources of food were available. His son, a generous nurse, off-duty nurse, and a local church. It's not even three people because a church is a few people, if not many. So if he would be in my
They're giving him food because he's
If he-
starving. Just because he's getting
mean?
food
How?
doesn't mean he's not
How can he
starving.
be, what do you mean? What do you mean? There's three.
Do you understand what starvation is?
Hold on. Yeah, it's defined in the dictionary. I didn't ask for a definition, so we don't need to do that. So, look, he has to. So you're saying with these three sources quoted in your source, he is still starving with his son, a generous. They say generous. Not just an off-duty nurse, a generous off-duty nurse, and a local church to bring him food. That's starvation.
If you want to
That's
absolutely
starvation.
disprove, which is
What?
completely insensitive, but whatever. We've agreed before that Wikipedia is. We've agreed before that
That's not Wikipedia.
it's
We are
completely insensitive to the situation. He is starving, but all right. So we've agreed before that Wikipedia is a valid source.
How could you say a person that fell off Meals on Wheels home delivery because of a technicality, and he still has three sources to get his food? That's your only. That's your only person that you found who is starving. How could you say that this person is starving? I can't fathom this.
No matter the fact that he has people that bring him food, it's not guaranteed. That's not a stable source of food.
Three sources? One of them is a church? And that's only because of a technicality. Before that, he was on a home delivered Meals on Wheels. He probably should just made a phone call, and they probably would have brought him back on the plan.
Oh yeah, no, a phone call would fix everything. I'm sure he hasn't thought of that. Yeah, I'm sure that's how that works. So, anyways, if you want to ignore that, then whatever. But if we've already
What do you mean
agreed that
ignore?
Wikipedia
What
is
do
an
you mean
objective
ignore? What do you
source,
mean ignore? I just went through and read your article, and I showed you. I'm not ignoring. I'm showing you. This is for you. There's not a
no, because you're not.
wait. What? Wait. You think he is starving? After this, you think he's starving? Wait. Let me ask you this.
Yes, he's starving.
He died. When was this article? When was?
2019. Just because someone's
Is he
starving
dead?
doesn't mean
Wait.
they died of. I gave you. Listen, I
Is he
gave you
still-
the percent. I gave you the amount of people that died due to starvation. You said, I wanted the amount of people who are starving. I gave you 44
No, I
million
want
Americans
one.
that
I
were
don't
starving.
want. No, I didn't ask.
I want
I
the
didn't ask
name.
for that.
I give you a
One
name
person.
of a person who is regarded as starving. You say no, he's not starving because he has his son, a church, and whatever the fuck they bring him food. That's still starving. He still says that he's insecure in his food. He's still saying
what
that
if
he doesn't know.
So what if
He
he
doesn't
says?
think that he has enough to
So what?
eat.
I don't care. I don't care. I need evidence. I don't care what he says. I want evidence.
I've given you evidence, but I gave you an
Anyone
evidence,
can
and
say
I gave you
anything. I
evidence,
don't
and
care
you
what
went on
you
a
say.
tangent.
I need
I
evidence.
gave you an evidence, and you went on a tangent about
No,
how
I'm
it's
reading.
all a
No,
scam for these
reading.
people to make money.
No. I didn't say scam.
Yes.
No, I didn't say scam. No, it's not a scam. I know that. I know how these NGOs work. It's not. I'm not saying it's a scam. You can call it a scam. You can call anything a scam, but they'll probably sue you for defamation if you call them a scam. So
That's not relevant. If you could
I would not
not
call them.
waste time, as you've been telling me.
I would not call them a scam. I wouldn't call him a scam. I don't call anything a scam. But from this article, if this is your best example that a 75-year-old blind vet who technically, because of a technicality, because he was in the hospital, so in the hospital, obviously,
What does it matter if it was a technicality? You keep putting an emphasis on that. What does that matter?
because of a technicality, he fell off a plan. Because of a technicality, he fell off the
Yeah,
plan.
he was starving and he was on a plan.
No,
And then
wasn't
he fell off the
starving.
plan.
He was not starving. He was in a hospital.
Why do you think those people get put on plans? Why do you think you just go up there, you say, I'm starving, I need food, they get you on the plan. But anyways, I think your argument is incredibly flawed because you're like, again, it's very funny because at the beginning of this argument, you were saying, I was telling you it's wrong of the outside people that were looking for the election of outside to say it's a show election if we don't know who they are. And you said, no, it's okay. But now I'm telling you 44 million Americans are starving. And you're like, oh, well, what's their name? So then what is it? Can you have a source that is valid if it tells you the name of people that are like, can you have that or can you not have that? Is a source valid if it doesn't tell you who it's about?
Look,
Because I can make that same point that you have made. I can say, these are people who make money off of demonizing North Korea. These are people who have these groups. It's Turning Point USA that funds Yeonmi Park to push this bullshit. That's also, by the way, Yeonmi Park is despised by half of North Korean defectors, people who were in the fucking same place that she was, people who are saying that's not true, and she charts it off as,
stop.
my English is bad,
Tony,
I'm traumatized.
Tony, hold on. Stop. Don't go on exegesis, on a monologue. We're trying to have a dialogue. I'm trying to convince you to see the light. You're trying to convince me to see the light. So there's no need. A monologue.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah, but so a monologue is not. It's not.
No, because that's what you just did. But your claim, you do not see how your claim that there are no starving people in the United States is, first of all, incredibly insensitive. Second of all, it's completely false. Because I gave you an organization that its only goal is to feed people starving in the U.S. You say, no, because I know how NGOs work.
No. Look, you're trying to convince me. I explained to you that's not going to convince me. Honestly, I'm not. Look, unless you think I'm being paid, right? So as far as you know, you could go look at my videos. I'm an objective person. I don't care either way. I mean, I'm basically.
I don't think you are,
Oh,
because you don't believe that an obesity epidemic can exist in a country
you
that
think I'm
has
not
starvation.
objective? Wait, so you think I'm not objective?
No, okay, okay. I have a question for you. Do you think Mexico has do you think Mexico has people that are starving?
Noni,
Do you think there are starving people in
no, I
Mexico? Yes or
don't
no?
want Noni. It's a
No,
tangent.
yes or no. Yes, it's a yes or no question. Do you
I don't
think
want to go. I don't want to. No. Look, you're trying to convince
no, 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 no. There starving people in Mexico?
Noni. That's not. Look, I'm gonna help you convince me. That's not. That's not. So I was hoping to convince you. You were hoping to convince me through the starvation in America, maybe starvation in Mexico. I see that if you really think that there is starvation anywhere on the planet, then that's not going to be, and you're convinced of this. So that's not going to be a line of investigation that I'm going to pursue with you. And I'm telling you, don't pursue it with me because we're deadlocked on this issue. I believe there are no starving people in the world except for North Korea, as far as I know. If you believe there's plenty of starvation all over the world, that's fine. So, no, we presented each other with about as much evidence as we should in this debate. I don't want to go on a tangent. It's fine. You believe there is starvation. I believe there is the opposite. There is way too much abundance of food. The food is way too cheap. It's way too um, what do you call it, subsidized by governments and such. So I don't believe that. And I was hoping you would see it. Let me just conclude this part of the debate. I was hoping you would see that the only way North Koreans are starving is because it's deliberate. Because nowhere else in the world is there anything similar. So this is weird.
But that's why you're wrong. And okay, I understand. We're both. I understand your point. You said like, oh, we're both trying to show each other that the other person's wrong.
Yeah.
But I cannot deal. You're the person that's been asking me for sources this entire time, and every source that I give you, you're saying no. It's not like I know how these things work.
Yeah.
Well, it's not true. To outright state that there are no okay, you know homeless people, and I agree with you that there are obese homeless people and that they contribute to this. But why is it so difficult for you to believe that there are starving homeless people? After I gave you a source of a not of an organization, of a charity, why is that so difficult?
No.
I gave you I gave you a non-profit in your statement that you have no proof for this whatsoever.
Noni.
And you say, what's your proof that there is no hunger?
Noni. We tried pursuing this line of
No, because I want to hear because you're basing your argument on this. I want to hear, I want to
I
see.
gave you.
No, see,
I gave you-
source.
Source that what?
What source? Give me a source that states that there is no hunger in the U.S. whatsoever. Give me a source.
I honestly, that's like asking, give me a source that there is any oxygen in the universe. Give me a source. What's your source? If that's what I don't look.
No, because we don't. That's not the same because we have not explored the entirety of the universe, and we can't know. I don't know if it's known to you, but the United States is actually on Earth, and it's a lot of it is not like we're pretty well educated on the United States. So that's why there is no hunger in the United States because it's present. Now, I'd like again to ask of you to give me a source which states that there is no hunger in the United States whatsoever. There's not one starving person in the United States. Even though there are deaths due to malnutrition, there's not a starving person in the United States. Give me a source.
Hold on. Bird Nest Ratfest also says America GM food, LOL, genetically modified. So he's making fun of the genetically modified. Look, Noni, there's really I'm being honest with you. We're here to try to convince each other. Hopefully, we'll leave this debate and I'll rethink my position. You'll rethink your position. Maybe we'll change. Maybe we will not. I heard everything you had to say. I told you I don't have evidence. It's not something that I care for. If the way I
But you're basing your argument in it.
yes, And
But that's the
I
issue. You can't.
yes, I agree. I completely agree. I told you I might leave this debate and rethink everything because of this debate. Unlikely because there's no new information presented to me during this debate. Everything you're that
What do you mean? The nonprofits that I provided you with,
I'm
that's
familiar.
not new
I'm
information?
familiar with the reports of these nonprofits. I have studied the reports of nonprofits. I've studied the economic incentive of these nonprofits. I'm an old man.
Yes,
I've debated.
but you haven't been able to provide me with a source that proves your claim. It's just, I've done this, I've done that. Believe me that I have done this,
I'm not
but you're
trying to
not.
convince you. I gave up on this line of investigation. I'm letting you know that
But okay, well, so then if you gave up on it, right? You gave up on it. Could we then agree that there is no deliberate starvation in North Korea?
I okay. No need. I told you we're deadlocked on this issue. So you think that it's not deliberate. You think that
Yes.
according to you, a tenth of the richest nation on the planet is starving. That's what
Yes.
I think I saw your quote. 34 million Americans are basically starving out of about
Yeah.
330, 340 million. So that's 10% of the American population, according to you, is starving. If that's how you feel, then yeah, sure. Then North Korea is also starving. To you, people are starving. Earth doesn't have enough food. So fine. So I'm not gonna convince you.
Oh, no, we have enough food. I agree with you that there is enough food for everyone to feed, for people to be fed, and I agree that there is starvation in North Korea. I'm not. There's definitely starvation in North Korea, and it's definitely a bigger issue than it is in the United States. It's a much bigger issue in North Korea. There is definitely starvation. It's definitely a very large issue. But
Do you think there's
it's
starving? You really think there are starving Americans? Really?
yeah.
Okay, then if
I've
there's
given
no
you
point, then
a source.
fine. Then we'll let go of this point. All right. So you think that Kim Jong Un is innocent of starving his people? Is he starving?
No, he's the leader of the country. He's free to leave, unlike his citizens.
So he's not starving.
No, for there to be starvation in the country, not every single citizen has to be starving. Unless you'd like to state otherwise.
So there's. Would
The
you,
leader is not
you
starving, no.
okay, so Nomi, she was 13, I think, when she left North Korea. Is that right? Do you remember how old
Mhm.
she was?
Pretty sure, yeah, 13.
Okay, so she was a 13-year-old starving, and he's a mature person, not starving. So there's if she's starving, so I'm assuming that there's other children like her starving in North Korea. So the children are
Yes.
starving, but an adult man, he looks pretty obese to me. Would you agree?
Your point being,
Wait, do you agree or not? I need to clarify.
I mean, he lost a lot of weight.
I
He's
need
still overweight, but he's
Okay,
not.
do you agree or not?
He is.
So do you agree or
I
not?
do agree. Yeah,
You
I agree. I agree.
you agree that he's obese.
I do.
So
Yes.
does this make sense to you that the leader is obese while children are starving?
I don't. Yeah, Donald Trump is obese, and there was
No, no,
still
no.
starvation in the U.S.
Oh, okay.
So it does make sense to me. It does, and also because he's free to leave the country.
Hold on. Hold on. I'll ask you again. Is Kim Jong Un being obese innocent of starving the children? He's obese. The children are starving. Is he innocent
Yes,
of starving?
because
He's obese. He's still in.
yeah, but
How could that be?
his food intake is not that of all those
that be?
children that are
No,
starving.
no, but what do you mean? How could that be? How could he be innocent?
He's not eating all their food. There's a
No,
lack of
he's
food,
wait,
and there's
if he's obese, then he's overeating. So at least the overeating he should stop. But so he should. So as far as the overeating is concerned, you have to admit he's not innocent.
Overeating is not the same as starving someone deliberately.
Okay, when he overeats and becomes obese, agree or disagree that he's not innocent of starving children? He's taking food from children as he overeats. Agree or disagree?
Disagree, because
He's
if you know, if you
When he overeats,
yes,
when he's overeating and the children are starving, he still is innocent of starving the children?
yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
he's innocent of
Then,
starving
okay,
the children
then-
because he's not taking
Okay.
because he's not taking food from them.
What do you
He's
mean?
not. Do you understand how
What do
many
you mean?
starving
What do you-
children there are in
then-
North
okay,
Korea?
Then, okay. Then okay. This is bizarre. So we can pin this down. Hopefully.
So you have, okay, I get your point. I get your standpoint, right? I get your standpoint,
Mhm.
right? And if he was a selfless leader, he would be skinny and the children would eat, right?
No. We're talking about a crime. This has nothing to do with selfless. We're talking about a crime. He's overeating while children are starving.
Okay, how many children do you think are starving in North Korea? If you could give me this, I'm not asking for like a professional estimate, like in your opinion.
I don't care. There is a crime.
No, okay, no, you have to care because that's your standpoint. So here's the thing. That's why this is why your argument is flawed, Mr. Slave. This is the thing. So he is not eating, like these children are not starving because he's eating their portions.
Yes, he is.
Okay?
That's exactly what's going on.
No, because the amount, if he were to eat the amount of portions for each starving child, he would die.
Look.
Right? There are more starving children that are not eating that he could eat.
As soon as he takes the extra bite that you conceded, that extra bite, he's starving children with that extra bite that he's consuming.
That is incorrect.
Okay, then I don't understand. Okay, let's create a hypothetical to clear this up. So let's pretend Mr. Kim Jong-un is sitting at the table with a girl next to him. Let's say it's Yunomi herself. He is currently, he just finished eating. He's done. He completely took all the calories and nutrients he needs for the day. Now there is an extra bite left on the table. Agree or disagree? She's starving. If he takes that bite and not give it to her, then he is deliberately starving her. Agree or disagree?
Your hypothetical is flawed.
Okay.
Because I've just explained to you the issue with your hypothetical and with your way of thinking. There's not one child that's starving. If there was one child that was starving, no.
You're refusing to answer the question. So you have.
Yes, if there is one child and he could feed that one child, that is deliberate starvation. In your hypothetical, that is deliberate starvation. I agree.
Okay.
But what I'm telling you is that how your hypothetical is flawed because that's not what's happening.
Okay, let's say there's two children at the table. There's Yunomi and her sister at the table, and he's taking the extra bite as they are starving. Is this deliberate starvation? Yes or no?
No, because you can't feed both of them with one bite.
Really?
Yes.
Could you feed her with so could you feed her with one bite?
No, but you're still giving her food. It's one bite. It's nothing, but it's if you're not giving it to her, and she's starving, then it's deliberate starvation. But you can't, if you have a bite, like, do you understand what a bite is? It's nothing. No, if it was a sandwich, maybe.
Not nothing.
But like,
a bite is not nothing. A bite is a bite. I just need an answer.
You think you can feed You think you can feed a child with half a bite? That's not deliberate starvation.
You're refusing to answer the question. Here's the question.
No, it's not starvation.
Fine. Let's go back to the original hypothetical. So Kim Jong-un is sitting at the dinner table with Yunomi, one bite left. He could give it to her. She's starving. He's full, but he takes the one extra bite instead of giving it to her. Is this deliberate starvation? Yes or no?
All right, let's say it is, and let's say your other hypothetical, it's also starving.
I'm refusing to answer the question.
I just answered. Let's say yes. Let's say yes.
Let's say.
Okay, let's say yes.
Let's say. What do you mean? Let's say.
No. That's not because I'm trying to explain to you why you're wrong. Okay, Yes, it's flaw. It's deliberate starving. If you have
Is
two
innocent?
starving children
Is
and
he
there's a
innocent? Is he innocent of deliberately starving Yunomi in this hypothetical? Yes or no?
in this hypothetical, no.
He's
In
not.
your second hypothetical, no. He's also not
So in
innocent.
the
Okay.
first hypothetical, he is not deliberately starving Yunomi by overeating.
No,
So
he is
there's no
starving.
look. The point is there's an abundance of food for him. You can't say that.
Oh, Jesus, he's the leader of the country. There's
he's
gonna
full.
be an abundance, but that
He's full.
abundance is not so exorbitantly large that he's
Let's
able
say-
to feed every starving citizen.
Let's say just one little girl. She's a tiny little girl.
Then it is deliberate starving. If it's just one little girl, he is deliberately starving her.
I'm asking.
Okay,
Is this
but that's what I'm
deliberate?
telling you.
I'm asking if he overeats instead of giving it the bite to her. Is this deliberate starvation? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is he innocent of in this hypothetical? Would you say he's innocent of deliberate starvation in this hypothetical?
No, I wouldn't say he's innocent.
Mhm. Now let's place two children at the table.
Mhm.
Repeat the hypothetical.
Still not innocent.
Still not innocent?
Okay.
Yeah, I
Still
didn't.
not innocent.
I didn't hear you. Not innocent. Or
Still not innocent. I revoke my past claim. It's still not innocent.
so he's not innocent. Three children at the
He's
table.
not innocent.
Four children at the table.
I mean, again, I'm not innocent. I don't like not innocent. All right. Do you know how many starving people are in North Korea?
Okay, you know where I'm going.
There's a limit. There's a limit. We can go to 10. All right. Let's say.
At what point would you say he is innocent? When does he suddenly become innocent? At what point?
It's a good question. I agree with you on that, but are you asking me for my personal opinion, or are you asking me for what?
Yeah, you claim he is innocent. I'm trying to see how this could be. This seems to be in direct contradiction to the hypothetical. The hypothetical pins you down. You have to.
The hypothetical. I get the point of it, but it's incorrectly. It's
So
incorrect because it's
how many
not.
children do we need to add to the table for you to stop saying that he is not innocent? That he's suddenly becomes innocent when there is
So
100 children?
let's say he's eating a lot, right?
No.
But because look, it's not feeding a child.
Why-
I think no,
You refuse-
one child,
you-
he's still not okay. No, because you said one bite. Let me just you said one bite, right?
Look, you're refusing to answer the question. I'll grant you.
I'm not refusing. I'm not refusing to answer the question. I'm telling you why I don't need to answer it if it's put down wrong.
No need. Just before you give any answer, I always allow retraction. I'm not here to get you. I'm not here to get you to admit something that you don't feel that you're convinced. I'm trying to convince you. I don't care what you say. If we leave this conversation and you feel just a little bit convinced, that's more important to me than you admitting that you're convinced, but actually I didn't convince. I really want you to be convinced. I don't care what you say. I'm not here to get you. I'm not here. I don't care about the audience. This is good.
If you don't care about what I say, then you can't participate in a debate.
No,
right? Are you aware of that? You can't participate in a debate if you have no regard for what the other person is saying.
Listen,
I'm telling you.
No, you didn't understand me. No. Of course, I'd like you to be convinced and admit that you're being convinced. But if I have to choose one or the other, either I'm convincing you or you're admitting without being convinced.
How is this relevant?
But I don't care what you answer. I really want you to think about this, and I want you to answer. At what point do we add children to the table and suddenly he becomes innocent of this crime? At what point? 100 children, 1,000, million? At what point?
He's not okay. With one bite, he's not starving a child if it's not giving him one bite.
But he could give it to.
I'm assuming
he could give it to. He could give it to, if he has 1 million children. He could give it to any one of them.
If I could, just 1 second, if I could make a subtly different argument from what you're saying. I see from your profile you're a communist, right? How do you feel about billionaires?
No, no,
How I
no.
feel about what,
Lenos,
billionaires?
Lenos, please don't. We're having a one-on-one. We're
Yeah, we're having a one-on-one at this point. Yeah, actually, wait. Let's do this. Let's do this. Wait. I have an idea. Wait. Mm, There. There we go.
no, you don't
I
have
locked
to.
him out.
No, you don't. He's a friend. You don't have to kick anybody out.
Well, it's a one-on-one. It's a one-on-one, and I think he's asking questions that are,
Oh, it's
you know,
fine. It's fine. I like people entering and interjecting and making noise.
yes, but we're in the midst of a very important discussion,
Yes, yes,
and he's here to ask me about billionaires.
I agree. So you locked the room? The room is now locked?
No, I locked him out specifically.
Can you release the lock? Poor guy. I don't want him to be locked. Like,
Yeah, I know, but I'm having a very important discussion with you, trying to explain to you why your hypothetical is false, and I don't really need him distracting me.
okay.
I mean, I can unlock him, sure, but if you yourself stated that you wanted a one-on-one.
Yeah, but I want to tell him, and I want him to choose that it's one-on-one. And I want, if he has something really important to say, I want him to say it. If he wants to help you, I want him to help you. It's fine. I mean, and this discussion, I don't think it's that important. I mean, it's good content and it's fun to discuss.
I mean, yeah, because I don't understand. So with one bite, he's not feeding a child. Can you, if you really want to use the hypothetical, could you make it a bigger amount of food? Can we turn it into a plate of food, please? Just so it's not like, can we say it's a plate of food?
no. A bite is enough. I don't need.
No, it's not. It's not.
Bite
The
is
starving, the starving children in Africa, a bite is not enough for them. It doesn't have enough nutrition. It's not deliberate starving.
There's the joke about the starving kids in Africa. That's so funny that you say that. I just saw a video yesterday of a woman saying there's starving kids in Africa, and then you see this African lady, African girl. She heard that, and she walks around and she sits at the street and she's asking for food. The Africans are laughing at people who say that they're starving Africans. That's such a meme. But fine, you want to believe it, believe it.
Yeah, okay, people from South Africa, but I'm telling you,
Yeah, okay, yeah,
right,
exactly.
I don't get
Only
your like there are starving children in Africa. There are starving children.
I know,
But you have to understand. Is your stance?
my last girlfriend is African. So look, it's a joke. I mean, talk about obese. I mean, she was rotund. So
Okay.
and she said,
It's a joke. I get very funny joke, but
I told my girlfriend, I said, where do you find such big women? Because I love big women. So she said, just go to my country. All the women are huge. Like, I'm tiny. She said, I'm tiny.
Yeah, they're fattening camps, but that's not what I'm talking about here.
Okay, fine.
You are aware.
Okay, look, going back to the one bite. So it's a dead end. Again, we're deadlocked. It's fine. It's fine.
It's not because it's really not. One bite is not enough nutrition for a starving child. If Yeonmi Park was starving, then one bite is not enough nutrition. If you've read her book, which I doubt that you have, yet you use her as evidence in order to live, she describes how her mother would leave for like literal fucking months, leaving them with like a week's supply of food. They'd have to go around begging, eating fucking, what she said. She said grasshoppers and stuff. So for that kind of child, a bite of whatever Kim Jong-un was eating is not enough. That's why your argument is flawed.
Okay. Look, I admit that it's a deadlock because it's fine. So you think he is innocent? You think that he overeats while children are starving, and he is innocent of starving them? Of deliberately starving them.
Because he's not starving them, because the amount of food that he eats could not feed every starving child in North Korea. North Korea is a country.
How is it? So he has access to food, right? Plenty.
Yes.
Plenty. How does he have access?
But not enough food to feed the people that are starving in this country.
Why is that?
Because of sanctions. Do you understand that North Korea has there are heavy sanctions?
If there are sanctions, then why is there enough for him but not for everyone?
Because it's easier feeding a one because sanctions refer to the entire nation's food supply and imports. Whilst he's one person, Kim Jong Un has people, has his private chefs and shit that go into different countries, buy food there. It's you got a private chef like Kim Jong Un's dad, Kim Jong Il, loved pizza. Like it's easier to supply one man with food than it is to supply an entire nation.
So
You're aware, right?
basically,
So the amount of food that
let me say something. So what you just described, I was not aware of. So you're describing a life of luxury to the leader, while a life of destitute to the children, to the people, and you still think he's innocent?
Well, I explained to you that everything that Kim Jong Un indulges in
Indulges.
cannot be spread equally to
But
every
I didn't say, but
person
it could,
that in a way that it would make it significant.
but it could. Okay, look, if it weren't so exorbitant the way you describe it, I didn't even know this. Like if he lived like a normal person, that's what I was. I was just assuming that he overeats like a normal person. But what you're describing is exorbitance, is luxury lifestyle. So, and if at this point you still think that he's innocent of deliberately starving the people,
Every nation's leader lives in luxury.
no one starves. But according to you, everyone starves. So again, look, it's a dead end.
Every nation has starvation. No, I'm not saying everyone's. I'm not starving here. That's not my claim. I'm saying every nation has
We're
starvation.
deadlocked. We're deadlocked. We're deadlocked. So let me ask you this: what would convince you that you're wrong? What would convince you that he's not innocent? That he is deliberately?
So
What would convince you that Yanomi's theory is the correct hypothesis? What would convince you?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't even refer to Yeonmi, but what would make me convinced is if, I don't know, he or anyone else from the Korean government, all right, listen, and if he or anyone else from the Korean government stated that they had enough food to feed people, but they gave it to Kim Jong Un, which is not possible. Okay, whatever. So if there was, I would be convinced that he was deliberately starving his own people. If there was an offer given to North Korea that would allow them to properly supply food to other citizens, and North Korea declined it.
Really? Hold on.
Then yes,
Okay, we'll come back to this. So Birdnest says, "What did do American Western sanction do? I wonder." Yeah, I am wondering. So you're saying that there isn't an offer from any country to give North Koreans enough food? You're saying there isn't an
I think
wait. Yes or no?
in compliance,
Yes
I
or
think if they want to so
Yes or no?
I may have worded that wrongly. Thank you for thank you for pointing out
Yes.
the fallacy of my
Yeah, just I
argument. Thank you. I would like to retract my statement and rather say
have
that
a question.
if it would be in compliance with their values.
Fine.
So there are offers from the U.S., for example.
Yeah.
The U.S. would offer North Korea food,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If North Korea would let go of their weapons program, and stop allying with China, for example. Like if they were to become an ally of the West, North Korea would get that food.
Okay, so why are they not complying?
Because the United States wanted control of North Korea. Like during,
why
if you understand how,
isn't Kim Jong Un letting go of all the starving people? It sounds like today it's impossible to get out. It sounds like Yanomi barely got out. So if there's
because it's not, first of all, like China wouldn't, I think, allow it.
no,
Right?
just
Like,
let
because they rely really on China. That's the
why-
thing. They
no,
really rely on
honestly,
China.
Listen, don't repeat yourself. Why is Kim Jong Un not letting his people go? Why are his borders so strict? Like at the border at the south, there's guards. Why? Why not just let people, whoever wants to go to the south, let them go?
No, that's not the South Korea. Also, it's called a demilitarized zone.
Just let the
South Korea also has guards on the border.
okay, but they did meet. I saw on YouTube when they met. So they allow meetings. So why not just let people go to the south?
Because the South absolutely betrays all of Korea's original principles.
Whoever wants to leave should leave. Why are there such strict borders not allowing people?
Because those people are necessary to the economy. You know that it's very important for every North Korean to stay inside North Korea because otherwise the economy is worsened. That's why you can't, the thing, the reason why it's like that is because of the United Nations, which made it illegal for North Korean workers to work outside, to work outside of North Korea, and every North Korean worker that worked outside of North Korea was to be deported. So obviously, it would be within North Korea's best interest to keep the people inside the nation so they could contribute maximally to the economy.
Wait a minute. There's starving children in North Korea. You conceded that, and you
No, there are starving children in North Korea.
What?
I'm sorry, did you say that I don't think there are starving children in North Korea? Because there are starving children in North Korea.
No,
I'm sorry, maybe I misunderstood you.
See, look, according to you, there is also starvation in South Korea. So if we let the people from North Korea move to the South, they're going to be starving there. But okay, so let's okay, look, that's a dead end. So, and you say that North Korea cannot let the people go. That's why the borders are so militarized, and that's why it's they make it impossible to leave because they need the people. What about the children?
Yeah, they need the people. Yeah, they need the people.
Children
Yeah.
go.
They need the people.
What do you mean they? We're talking about Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, he needs the people to benefit the economy.
Why that we're talking about him? I don't know what it means, economy. So
yeah, exactly.
So for his benefit,
if his nation, which he's in charge of,
it's not. It's for his benefit. He's holding on to free labor. That's what you're saying. For his personal benefit.
Free labor.
I mean, the people.
Did you say?
You said he's holding on to the people, for the work. So for them to work, for the labor.
Yes, he needs them to work.
These people want to leave. He's not letting them leave. They're starving.
No, that's wrong. Not everyone wants to leave. That's not true. I
didn't say that. Don't put words into my mouth. Come on.
You said they want to leave, and I said no. They don't want to leave.
Me wanted to leave and had a very hard time leaving because the borders are so dangerous, keeping the North Koreans inside of the borders. The question is why? So you're saying that he wants them to work for him. So isn't that a crime?
A crime of what? Making people stay in the country?
Yes, that's basically slavery.
That crime, it's not, first of all, slavery is in itself free. And second of all, that crime, if that's a crime, it's enforced by the United Nations. It's not North Korea's fault.
Wait. The people want to leave. Let's say there is a person called Yunomi. She wants to leave and she's being held inside, not allowed to leave. Isn't that a crime?
Yeah.
Not letting a person leave because he wants to leave, isn't that a crime?
That's not Kim Jong-un's fault.
1 second. Shooting a person when they try to leave, isn't that a crime? Isn't that murder?
South Korean authorities do that as well. You can't cross over the demilitarized zone.
1 second.
Yes, they will shoot you if you try to go over the border. South Korea.
Not answering the question. So North Korea will shoot you in the back if you try to escape. Isn't that a crime? Isn't that murder? Yes or no?
It's not a crime.
It's not a crime to murder a person?
It's not murder. It's
person is running away. You shoot him in the back. He wants.
Yes, because they are not allowed to leave.
The child wants to leave.
It's harming the nation if you leave.
You know, what do you mean it's harming? We're not talking about the nation. We're talking about Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un doesn't want children to leave, and he shoots them in the back when they try to leave, or he blows them up with bombs when they try to leave. Isn't that a crime? Isn't that
he shoots them with nukes. Yeah, he throws nukes at the children. Yeah, that's 100% what happens. No, he doesn't bomb the children.
No,
if you try to leave, you will be shot, but that's not But it's not exclusive to North Korea. That's what I'm telling you. You're talking about Kim Jong Un, but then you're switching to North Korea. So which is it? Kim Jong Un isn't the one standing at the fucking border.
Okay. Is it a crime or is it not a crime to shoot a person in the back as they try a child as they try to leave the country? Yes,
Shooting children in the back. Can you show me a source where it says that they're shooting
yes or
children in the
no?
back?
Let's
They're
let's,
breaking
let's
the
start
law.
with yes and no. Yes and no. Just you don't have to answer. You can refuse to answer the
They're
question.
breaking the law.
What?
I don't think I would not like to answer on the children because I don't think they shoot the children. They don't shoot the children. But if you're an
Yes.
adult and you're breaking a law,
Yes or no?
okay, if you're an adult,
Just-
if you're an adult,
you a
if you're an adult and you're
I asked you a question. Just yes or no. Is it a crime to shoot a child in the back as they try to leave your country? Just yes or no. Is it a crime? Or
yes,
it's murder.
it's murder of a child. Yes,
Okay.
it's not when it
Children,
happens to an adult.
I didn't ask. Let me ask you a question. So, did Yunomi try to leave North Korea?
Yes,
Was she just allowed
Yes.
to leave nilly willy, or did she have to?
she wasn't allowed to. No, she broke a law. Yeah.
So, if you
She
could,
wasn't allowed to.
if you could, would you send her back? If you could send her back as a child, let's say as a child she crossed the border, would you send her back because she broke the law?
Yes.
What if she would have been executed as a 13-year-old? Let's say she would have been executed upon return. Would you?
Oh, if I knew for sure she would be executed, you're saying?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't send her back then.
But she broke the law.
She broke the law.
So why not send her back?
But what I'm telling you is
The
they
law-
don't shoot children.
Answer.
They don't execute
Okay,
children. They execute adults.
look, I asked you a question. Just I need the answers to these hypotheticals. I'm curious.
I wouldn't send her back.
Why not? But you said she broke the law. You said she broke the law. That's why you sent
But
her
she's
back.
a child. She's a
One
child.
second,
She's
she's
not
a
fully
child.
developed.
That-
All she knows.
That didn't change. That didn't change from the last hypothetical. You said yes, you would send her back. She broke the law. Now I'm telling you, yeah, but the punishment for breaking the law is, let's say in the hypothetical, is execution. You say then you would
No,
send-
you're wrong because they don't
changed?
kill kids.
Wait, what changed?
They don't kill kids.
changed?
If you said if I knew they were gonna kill her, I said I wouldn't send her back. But they don't kill kids.
Okay,
That's the thing.
okay. But if you knew that the children are being executed, you would not send them back.
Yes, I would not send her back.
But you know that in North Korea she's starving. Let's say she comes to you and you can feed her. Would you still send her back to starve?
To me, as what? As me, as
Yeah.
a teenager, or
You as you are right now. Let's say a Yunomi girl, 13-year-old, came to you, ran away from North Korea. Would you send her back?
I mean, I would feed her and I would send her back.
To starve. We're assuming children starve in North Korea, so you would feed her and send her back to starve.
Well, am I sending? Okay, question: am I sending her back with her parents, or am I sending her back alone?
You're sending her back. You put her on a plane, and the plane goes to North Korea and lands there. Send her back.
That's a difficult question to answer because the very fact that she wanted to leave is not. It wasn't her decision. It was a decision of her parents.
Let's assume she ran away against everybody. She ran alone. Nobody consulted her. No one advised her. She just ran away. She was hungry. And she heard that you feed children. So she ran to you. You fed her. Now, would you send her back?
Well, if she was starving,
No.
then I wouldn't send her back.
She's full. Would you send her back?
No, I mean, like, if I sent her back to North Korea, she was starving. No, I don't think I'd send her back.
But she broke the law.
But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she broke the law. But she but she's a child. There's a difference.
So all the children that Kim Jong Un is holding in Korea, you wouldn't consider that a crime if assuming they
No,
eat and there's plenty of food. Oh, but you think there is?
no, there's not plenty of food.
Oh, there's not.
There's not plenty of food.
Okay, all right. There's not plenty of food. Fine. Yeah, everybody's starving in the rest of the world, of course.
No, I'm not saying no. I mean, in North Korea, there's not
say-
plenty of food.
what
In
you
the
would say-
world, there's plenty of food.
Yeah. So, there is plenty of food in the world. Okay. So.
Yes.
So what? So holding the children in North Korea is not deliberate starvation?
No, because it's not his fault that those children aren't getting the nutrition.
It's not his fault. You
the
say
fault
there's
of the
plenty
United
of food.
Nations.
One second. You said there's plenty of food in the world, but there isn't in North Korea. So if he is holding onto the children and they're starving in North Korea, isn't that deliberate starvation?
No, because he still needs the children to have a country that lives past one generation. He needs the children. The children are there. The
Why?
children are there as the workforce.
So is that
It's not deliberate starvation.
What do you mean? If I need you as my workforce, can I just take you and hold on to you and you because I need workforce?
No, because it's not that simple. No, it's not deliberate
The answer
starvation.
is yes or no. If I take you because I need workforce, is that a crime? Yes or no?
No, because it's
Not a crime?
it's a crime because you're my employer. That's
No,
not
no,
the
no.
same.
If I take you by force,
You don't have a country to run.
if I take you the same as he takes the children, and I hold you because I need future labor. I'm going to use you to have children to be my labor. I take you and your children, whatever. So is that a crime because I need workforce? What do you mean I need workforce? I'm gonna go around.
So in this hypothetical, you're running a country, and I don't think.
No. Me exactly as I am right now in my house.
Oh yeah, no, then it's a crime.
It's a crime. Oh, very good. So how is Kim Jong Un? How is what he's doing not a crime?
Because he's running a country, and
How is that
a
different?
country needs.
So if I take millions of children, then it's not a crime.
Because you need the country to sustain itself,
Okay,
obviously.
I take one child, so it's a crime, right?
Yes, because you're not a leader. You're not.
Yes or no?
You have no
Look, I'm not making
significance because you have no need for the child. You just need unpaid labor.
I just want the hypothetical, just the hypothetical. So you agree if I take one child because I need labor, that's a crime, right? I'm not innocent.
Yes, if you take a child, yes.
Okay. If I take two children, am I innocent?
No.
Okay. 3 children, am I innocent?
We're just doing the back and forth thing, aren't we? No, you're not innocent because you're the one taking them.
At what point do I become innocent like Kim Jong-un? I need to know, so I'll do it.
You're not at the point you become innocent like Kim Jong Un when you become the leader of a country that needs children to sustain itself.
How many children do I need to hold at gunpoint? So
it's not about the children. It's not about the children. It's about the power and the necessity. Why you need those children in the first place? That's what it's about.
Look. You're telling me how to create a beautiful lifestyle. I want Kim Jong-un's lifestyle. I need to know the recipe. How to become Kim Jong-un according to you. This is terrific.
Kim Jong-un is not taking all of the resources that North Korea produces.
I didn't say that. I'm trying to understand at what point do you tell me that I am innocent like Kim Jong-un holding.
I just explained to you when you become a leader of a country that needs children to sustain itself. Unless you form a country that's being heavily sanctioned, that your workers are not allowed to work outside of your country. At that point, when you're keeping children in the country, you're innocent.
So let me ask you this. So if tomorrow morning South Korea gets taken over by someone like Kim Jong-un and he does exactly the same and everyone starves, so it's also not a crime, right?
Saying like the sanctions still apply. I mean, first of all, that wouldn't happen because there'd be.
It's a hypothetical.
Military.
Stop.
It's a hypothetical. There wouldn't be starving children if he took South Korea.
Stop.
Or there'd be starvation.
Given,
There'd be
given.
starvation.
Given. It's gonna. Let's say somebody takes over South Korea and turns it exactly to North Korea, identical, just separate country. North Korea. Dot 2.0. So, according to you, he's also innocent?
I don't get your hypothetical. You're asking me. No, because are you asking me now about North Korea overtaking South Korea? Or are you just saying if South Korea and North Korea switched leaders?
No. We can also ask that, but for now, let's ask this. So, a person called Kim Jong-un 2.0. It's a different person. He lives in South Korea. He takes over
Okay.
South Korea and he converts it to a copy of North Korea. So everyone starves just the same. Is he also innocent?
And the sanctions are the same, right? Yeah, it's still
So he's
he's still innocent. If the sanctions are the same,
Yes,
yeah,
he's
still
innocent. So he took millions of people, and he is now holding at gunpoint and starving them, and that's not a crime. He's innocent. He converted.
First of all, it's not gunpoint. Second of all, not everyone in North Korea is starving.
Wait. North Korea, if children try to run away from North Korea, there's no gun, there's no guard. You admitted that there's guards who are going to shoot.
There's guards, but they're not being shot. Children are not being shot in North Korea.
Just run through the south border of North Korea?
No, they get taken back. They're grabbed by a soldier and dragged back to North Korea. They're not shot.
So
You think a child can outrun a soldier?
But let's say he does. Let's say a child does outrun a soldier. So they're not going to shoot at the child?
It's not possible. Yeah, the child's gonna fucking drink a super speed potion. It's not gonna happen. That's the thing. You can say, what if the child has a Glock and shoots every guard in a 20-kilometer radius? It's not happening.
Stop.
So there's no reason to debate that hypothetical. A child can outrun a soldier.
You're wasting time. Stop wasting time.
It's not because your hypothetical is bad. It's not relevant. It's not.
Stop wasting time. Please stop. So, according to you, an adult will be shot if they try to run through from North to South Korea?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But a child,
100%.
But not a child.
Not a child. An adult will be shot.
At what age? What is the distinction? What is the distinction? At what age?
18.
You're asking me, or are you saying?
I'm telling you, 18.
How do you know this? What's your evidence?
Because they're considered an adult.
Wait, what's your evidence? Present your evidence. Show me the evidence that.
You have not shown me evidence for half the arguments you've given me.
So you have.
I'm speculating.
How do you know? Wait. So how do you know this? How do you know that they don't shoot under 18 who run the border? What's your evidence? How do you know this? What's your source of information for this?
They can't shoot kids.
What's your source of
They need the kids.
How do you know this? Honestly,
my source is critical thinking. If they're a country with a low birth rate,
okay, you have no evidence. You're making claims with no evidence.
You've done this before, but it's an issue when I do it. I'm speculating, and I'm speculating, and I'm thinking critically while you are.
Okay, so you don't know. So when I said a child runs through, you made up a knowledge of no, they don't shoot children. You don't know that.
No, they don't shoot children. No.
You admitted you don't know.
There's never been a case. There has never been a case of someone shooting a child on the border.
I don't know. I don't know if we would know. I don't know. We don't know.
But I know because it would be published. There's been cases of people being shot, adults being shot, but no child has ever been shot on the DMZ.
Look, we don't.
We
don't know of it happening, and we don't know what the instructions are. We don't know. So we can just say we don't know. That's fine. I don't know either. It's fine.
No, because do you have an article? Do you have an article that points to a child being shot at the demilitarized zone?
No, stop.
So then we can say that it hasn't happened unless you have different
I agree.
evidence.
Fine, I agree. It's fine. So, so you're saying that if a person takes over South Korea, so let's go country by country and turn more countries into North Korea. So each one, you're saying it's not an issue. So if this continues and all the countries in the world become North Korea,
That's possible.
is that a world? Is that a world you'd like to live in, or do you like this world better?
That's not possible. I literally described to you why the situation of North Korea is so unique. It's because it's one of the most sanctioned countries in the world. You can't have a world that's full of North Koreas, right? Because in order to do that, you'd have to have a resolution that prohibits a lot of things for each of that country, and that wouldn't happen. It's not possible because you need to have heavy sanction on each of those countries. And if you're in North Korea, you can't sanction another North Korea because you both have jack shit. You don't have resources, either of you.
Why?
In order to have a North Korea, you need an America, for example. In order to have North Korea, you need richer countries denying you resources.
Let me ask you,
because
why isn't North Korea growing food?
They're growing food. They have farmland, but the thing is, they're not. No country in this world is self-sufficient. They need the imports, which they're being denied.
Wait, at least as food is concerned, how difficult is it to grow your own food? I mean,
No nation is able to fully provide itself with food.
No. This is the 21st.
Yeah, what country?
Hold on. This is the 21st century. This is not 1,000 years ago. In the 21st century, there's plenty of technology to grow food.
Do you think that technology is available to North Koreans that already have a struggling economy? That
What you need is a greenhouse. You know, there's plenty of plastic to create glass. Plenty of greenhouses. Greenhouses become very, very warm. There's no issue of it. You don't even need to warm them.
No, I know. I agree with you that they're greenhouses. They have greenhouses in North Korea, but the thing is, what I'm telling you
So what's the problem?
is no country in this world is self-sufficient.
I didn't ask you. That's irrelevant. No country.
Because you're asking something of North Korea, which is not possible for any other nation.
But no country needs it. No country needs to be self-sufficient. All the countries don't, they trade. So they don't need this.
Yeah, except North Korea. That's not allowed to trade at all. I mean, they can trade, but for jack shit. They can trade for 500,000 oil barrels.
That's fine. The question is, why doesn't Kim Jong-un invest more in agriculture to create more food?
Because he doesn't have the money to invest the things that he's currently investing in, and also agriculture.
1 second. Oh, he doesn't have the money. Like, I'm not even talking about money. I mean, greenhouses. That's like plastic. He doesn't have plastic?
You still need to invest in building that. You still need to educate North Korean citizens on how to use it. Yeah. You like to say that it's not, but you still need the education. You still need the money for it. Okay, it's a whole program. Those people have to be paid, and they're setting it up.
No, but they have buildings. I'm not even saying build something. This is just greenhouses. Greenhouses, it's just transparent plastic, translucent plastic to create greenhouses with minimal, like with sticks. You can bend sticks and wrap the plastic over just so that the heat gets trapped, and then the sun shines during the day and it stays hot, it stays warm enough overnight, and even in the winter you can grow food.
Your point being,
why isn't North Korea doing that? Why is Kim Jong-un doing this?
How do you know they're not?
Why are they starving? They shouldn't be. This is the.
Do you understand it? Okay, again, this points back to the argument that you made that there's no starvation anywhere in the world besides North Korea.
No,
which again,
North Korea. Look, we're discussing why You're saying he's innocent.
There's still every nation in the world is starving.
I don't care.
The United
I don't
States has.
care. That's not the debate. You're off topic. I don't care.
You can't no because you can't. Your argument makes no sense when it's placed outside of North Korea. You're expecting North Korea to do something that the nation with the highest GDP is not able to do. That is not a valid argument. They're still starving as people are starving in the United States, even though the United States has more money, they have more programs, they have better agricultural technology, yet they're still starving. So your argument is false.
Noni, hold on. I don't care about any other country in the universe. We're talking about North Korea. As far as I'm concerned, if the people are starving, then the government, Mr. Kim Jong-un, needs to invest. He doesn't even need, I would say he doesn't need to invest. He needs to just, people will do this of their own volition. But if you claim they don't, whatever, why don't you do it? So put together these greenhouses and grow food. Why isn't he doing this?
They are growing food.
So
Mr. Slave, they're growing food. It's just not enough to support 26 million people.
So why not? Why don't they?
What do you mean? Why not?
Why not? Let me finish the sentence. Why not grow more food?
Because there's a limit to how much farmland the country has.
Really?
Why not grow more food?
You don't even need farmland. You could do this inside warehouses. Even in warehouses today, people have farms. People have.
But it's not. It hasn't been achieved. I need you. It hasn't been achieved anywhere else.
What do you mean? I've seen that people grow things inside their own homes. People grow things everywhere today.
Yeah. Okay, but that's not. It doesn't. It's not. Okay. Where has your theory been achieved?
I'm asking. That's irrelevant. I'm asking you.
No, I'm asking you if you think this is a plausible solution, then where has this been done?
What do you mean? Of course, it's plausible. If it's not, if you think it's not.
No. Okay. Well, where has it been done? Point it to me. Where has it been done that a country has zero imports on food?
Look,
the
technology of how to build a greenhouse is 100 years old or 50 years old.
That's not what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm asking you. Don't switch the topic. I'm asking you where has your solution been done?
What do you mean? What? I don't understand the question. There's plenty of greenhouses.
Where your solution of if you don't have enough food, just grow more food. Right? Where has that been done?
That's irrelevant. We're discussing Mr.
No, it's incredibly relevant because you're asking this. You're saying you're presenting it like it's a plausible solution, but it hasn't been done in any other nation.
No, listen. You claim Mr. Kim Jong-un is innocent of starving his people, and to me, it looks deliberate because he could, with today's technology, he could easily feed his nation. There should be no issue.
No, he could. Which country has managed to do that? To eliminate starvation? No, you can't not care. If you're making an argument that with today's modern technology, starvation can be completely eradicated, I want you to point me to a nation where that has been successfully done.
Okay, I told you that's I don't see how that's relevant.
No, you want me to tell you? I just told you how it's relevant. You're talking about hunger, aren't you? And then you're saying with today's modern technology, hunger can be eradicated. And I'm saying where? Where do you see this happening? That modern technology has eradicated hunger in a country?
No, you could argue that the other leaders are also not innocent. So that's why I claim that's irrelevant. We're discussing the innocence of one Mr. Kim Jong-un, no other leader. So explain to me what's holding him back from creating these greenhouses and feeding his people?
Because I'm telling you, it's not possible. It hasn't been done.
I told
you. Understand that imports of food cost money.
I answered your question. I told you the other leaders are also not innocent, but he is also not.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, even they are. I agree that they're not innocent, but I think, but you need to understand that, like,
they're not innocent, but he is innocent.
He's not completely innocent.
Oh, so please.
Neither is any other. I'm saying, are we talking about deliberate starvation?
No. You said he is innocent, so now you're saying he's not completely innocent.
Of deliberate starvation.
Look, innocent or not, You started by saying innocent, and now you're saying not completely.
Innocent of deliberate
It doesn't matter
starvation.
of anything, of any crime. I don't care what crime. You said innocent. Innocent means of any crime. Now you're saying he's not completely innocent of any crime. So modify your proposition.
Neither is any
I
leader in the
don't care.
world.
Look, I didn't propose that anyone is innocent. You
I never
proposed.
said he was an all-powerful deity that could do no wrong. I said we're discussing.
I didn't propose that anyone is innocent. You proposed one Mr. Kim Jong-un is innocent.
I didn't.
What?
All right. But we're referring
Is he innocent?
to explain to you in the beginning of the debate
Is he innocent or not? I need to know.
of
Is he innocent
what?
of any? What do you mean? You tell me. You wrote the name of the proposition. Innocent. That's it. Period. You didn't say of what. You said innocent.
The discussion was about the accusations, and I explained to you in the beginning. The discussion was about the accusations thrown,
We said,
at
okay,
North Korea.
And we said, who is the accuser? Give me a name. We said, Yinomiy is the accuser. What's the accusation? We said starvation, deliberate starvation. You want?
He's innocent.
He's completely. Wait, but you said the other leaders are not completely innocent of deliberate starvation, but he is completely innocent of deliberate starvation.
Completely innocent.
But
He is innocent. Yes.
he is innocent, but the rest of the world leaders are not innocent of deliberate starvation.
You said those were your words.
No, that's
You said that they aren't
that's you.
innocent.
No, but you said okay, are they innocent or not?
How can I? There are 195 countries. How am I supposed to know for each and every single one of them?
But
I
you
don't
said
know.
there's starvation.
How can I know?
Is there any country?
My expertise
there
is North
any
Korea.
country- Is there any country without starvation?
No, there's no country without starvation.
So you wouldn't say that they're not innocent? You think they are innocent, even though there is starvation everywhere, where we could solve starvation?
Who is that? You mean Kim Jong Un, or do you mean?
No, the other
What do you
leaders.
mean exactly?
The other leaders. Do you?
I can't know. Because as I told you, it's a very interesting. It's a very exceptional situation.
You cannot
That
know.
it's a very unique situation that Korea is
You
in.
cannot know if other world leaders are innocent, but you do know that Kim Jong Un is innocent.
Yes. Because those other world leaders aren't under sanctions the same way that North Korea is. That's why I see him as innocent. I can't know what Joe Biden is doing about food security in the U.S.
Would you say
But I
Joe
can know about
Biden?
what Kim Jong Un is doing.
Wait, would you say Joe Biden is innocent of deliberately?
I literally just told you I don't know if he is. I don't know
But you
what
do
kind
know-
of international
so you don't-
pressure
so
he's
you
getting
don't
from
know-
other allegations.
So you don't know if Joe Biden is innocent of deliberately starving his people, but you do know that Kim Jong Un is innocent of deliberately starving his people.
Yes.
What is the symmetry breaker, as they say? What's the difference between you knowing about Kim Jong Un something and not knowing about Joe Biden?
Because Kim Jong Un is
Breaking
in.
up.
I'm not aware of what Joe Biden is doing.
You're not aware of Joe Biden. Wait, you have more information about Kim Jong Un than about Joe Biden?
Because I've researched Kim Jong Un obviously more than Joe Biden. Because Kim Jong Un has been in power longer than Joe Biden.
Okay.
This argument could be made for any country that has a someone in charge. Yeah,
Let me
I
ask
don't
you-
know much
me
about Joe Biden and his food security programs. No,
Let me ask you, what would
I never made the claim though.
Let me ask you. Fine. Let me ask you, what would change your mind about Kim Jong Un deliberately starving his people?
His own statement saying that he would starve his people, or China, for example, offering North Korea the ability to feed their citizens, and North Korea declining it.
So if we find only China, what if any other nation offers help?
Because China is the one looking out for North Korea's interest.
What if any
It's not the
other
same as if the
country-
U.S. offers it, because
What
the
if any
U.S. would
other-
turn it into a
What if
Western
any
war.
other country but the U.S. and China offers North Korea food and North Korea refuses?
It largely depends on which country it is. And again, it also very much narrows down the amount of countries that are able to do that, because again, China and the U.S. still rely on food imports. Like, they're not completely self-sufficient in terms of food security. So there is no such nation that can supply
Wait a minute.
itself and a different
Wait a
country
minute.
with food.
Wait a minute. Why? So China has never offered North Korea food?
They're importing it, but they're not eliminating hunger, starvation.
Wait a minute.
That's what I told you.
Oh, wait. Now I'm confused. You said it's because of sanctions. So China doesn't impose sanctions on North Korea?
China does impose sanctions on North Korea, but
Wait,
some of
China.
them it disrespects, because
China.
if you understand how the United Nations work,
Wait. So
you
China.
understand how the United Nations work.
wait,
So
wait.
United Nations, that
Wait. Let me ask. let me
most of
ask-
those
Let
resolutions.
me ask. I'm confused. Let me ask. Really, I'm confused. So there, from what I understand, you're saying there is sanctions by the United Nations on North Korea?
Yes.
What's your evidence for that?
Would you like me to tell you to tell you a resolution?
Link your source. I can.
Okay, United Nations. Okay, I'll send you the United Nations Resolution 2397, which are you talking about food security or sanctions? Because I can tell you about sanctions. Okay, you said sanctions of United Nations, so I can send you that. There. United Nations.
I'll look up also. So you're saying that there is let's look generally. Sanctions North Korea.
So this is a sanction not on food, but on machinery, refined oil, and also it introduces a ban on DPRK or Korean workers working outside of the country.
Okay. So there is no food sanction on North Korea?
You didn't ask me for a food. You asked me for sanctions specifically.
Right. So is there food sanction on North Korea? Is there?
Yeah, there are.
There is food sanctioned on North Korea?
Yes. What do you think you could? I mean, yeah, there are.
Coal, iron, lead.
There are many sanctions regarding many areas of North Korea's economy, including food safety. But I again, like there's no such nation in the world which has completely eradicated hunger. That's the thing. So you expecting that of the you're expecting North Korea to achieve that goal by using greenhouses, which all right, plausible. I mean, it's not a plausible idea. It's a good idea, but it's not plausible because the amount of land they would need for it and the amount of greenhouses, and it wouldn't be possible. They don't have the amount of land for that
How do you know this?
because it hasn't been achieved anywhere else. If it was achieved anywhere else, there would be proof that it was possible.
Okay, you have no reason.
Yes,
You have no source for this. You have no evidence for this.
Where is your source that has been done? Where is your source that this could be done?
I don't have a source, but you're saying that.
So then
you're saying it cannot be done. So what's
yes,
your source?
because it hasn't been done anywhere else.
No,
I'm saying specifically for North Korea. I'm saying specifically for North Korea.
You're saying there's not enough land for North Korea to grow its own food. You said that, right?
It's one of the factors, but yes.
Okay.
Or farmland to be precise.
But you don't know this.
I do know this because if there was, they would be eliminating starvation.
No, but not if they're doing this intentionally. So we need to.
Which they're not.
We don't know that.
Because
you don't know that.
We would know that if there were nations that were in the same predicament as North Korea and managed to get out of that same predicament by doing what you proposed.
Why is North Korea the only one in this predicament?
You mean no? There are different. There are countries that, like Afghanistan, for example, that is heavily sanctioned, but Afghanistan is not doing half the shit that North Korea is doing for their people.
is Afghanistan's people starving like North
Yes,
Korea?
yes.
Oh,
They're at least. I think they're the most. Actually, I
Well,
think
are
Afghanistan is the
people-
most
are
sanctioned
people-
country in the world.
hold on. Are people are Afghanis trying to run away from Afghanistan and being shot as adults as they're trying to leave the country?
I'm not sure. I haven't researched it. I know I know some of the countries that have been like really sanctioned, but I'm not. I'm not
You're saying
really.
it's possible.
I'm not really informed.
So could you look into that? Are Afghanis able to? I mean, can an Afghani just get up and leave? You've never met an Afghani person in the world?
No, I live in Croatia.
Okay.
Other
Could you look into? So there's no Afghanis in Croatia?
no, it's a very special thing we have here. I think 92% of us are Croatians.
Okay, so
So
you look
there's.
into that. Can Afghans leave
I
Afghanistan?
think yes. I think they can leave, but they need to get since it's because the U.S. had a lot of shit that they did there.
That's fine.
So the country's completely in shambles.
It doesn't matter. Look, Afghanis can leave if they whatever. They can leave. No one is going to shoot.
It's humanitarian visas. Yeah, humanitarian visas.
All right. So why don't we have this with North Korea?
Because it harms the economy that they're leaving. Do you understand that they would be able to leave if
But
they were
isn't
allowed to
what
work
do you mean?
outside?
How is that different than slavery? What do you mean? I'm
It's not slavery. They're paid. It's not slavery if you're kept in a country. It's not slavery.
Look. Let's say I am a North Korean and I just don't want to stay there.
Okay.
I just don't want to stay. Look, I understand they need my labor. I don't want to give it. I want to leave.
Tough titties. You gotta stay. Otherwise, the fucking country collapses if everyone leaves.
So how is that different than slavery? Of course, if
It's not, because in slavery you're not paid, and in slavery you're not paid. You're paid here. You have a life. You have a house. You have food provided to you.
Look, it's slavery because I'm forced to stay as labor. I don't want to stay as labor.
No.
What do you mean no? I don't want to
It's
stay as
not
labor.
slavery.
But
how is it slavery? It's a country. You're not staying on an estate.
I don't care what you call it. I don't care what you call it.
It's a country.
I don't care
It has
what you call it. I don't care what you call it.
Yeah, I know you don't care. You're here to argue, but you're not debating. So, like, the thing is, it's a country.
I don't care
it's
what
not
you call
slavery.
it.
They can travel.
I don't care what you call it. Look, if a slavery farm calls itself a country, it's not like slavery stops.
It's not slavery. By what definition is it slavery?
Look, it's forced labor. I don't want to stay. Let me go. Goodbye. Have a great rest of your life. I don't want to stay. I want to leave. I have other people want me to come over to other countries. This country, I don't like it. I want to leave. I never heard of this. In no other country do you have this problem that you just can't leave. Why? So North Korea is going to collapse. Tough titties. Collapse.
Okay, so a definition, Oxford definition of slave.
Kim Jong-un.
No. Okay. Oxford definition of slavery, of slave, sorry. A person who is forced to work and obey another person and is considered to be their property.
Fine, forced labor.
That's not slavery. Nowhere in the official.
It's fine.
Like,
it's fine.
It says okay.
I retract.
They have no property, no personal freedom or rights.
Look, I say it's
and
fine.
is unpaid.
Don't waste time. When I say it's fine and I retract, don't waste time. Let's continue. So, I'm a North Korean. I don't want to stay. I want to leave. Why is North Korea different that it needs to hold its citizens at gunpoint, where in the rest of the planet this does not exist?
Because it harms the economy severely if they leave.
Explain the difference. Why is North Korea different than the rest of the planet?
Because they have different types of sanctions.
Explain why explain the mechanics. How did North Korea become so different than everywhere else in the world? Everybody can get up and leave. No one is holding you at gunpoint. North Korea is different. Explain why.
Holding you at gunpoint. How do you think? I just told you, you go to Afghanistan by getting a humanitarian visa. You're not allowed to leave. You can leave if you get help from the
Right,
United
fine.
States, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
rescue you fucking out of
Right.
there.
So with North Korea, this is not possible. Why?
Yes, because North Korea is sworn enemies with the fucking United States.
Why?
Why would they even
Why?
allow the United States to have a convention?
Why is North Korea different than the rest of the planet?
In what sense? In not letting their citizens leave? I just told you, Afghanistan doesn't let their citizens leave. They leave using a humanitarian
Yes.
visa.
Why is North Korea different?
In what sense?
There's no way for a North Korean to leave, not even with a humanitarian visa. There's no way for a North Korean
Because
to
those
leave.
humanitarian visas are handed out by the American government, which is not obviously you don't want American influence in North Korea.
Wait, 1 second.
Are you asking me? Are you asking me why they're not cooperating with the United States? Is that seriously a question you're asking me?
I'm asking for the symmetry breaker between North Korea and the rest of the planet. Why is it like a jail? North Korea is holding its
Not a jail.
citizens, but they cannot leave.
Yes. Neither can people in Afghanistan without being rescued by the United States.
That's not true. What do you mean? I know people who are Afghanis. What are you talking? I know plenty of Afghanis. I know people. My boss used to be an Afghani. He used to travel to Afghanistan for a motorcycle ride across country, and then he came back over the summer. What are you talking about?
Great. There were North Korean
How is
workers up until
why
2018.
is North Korea different? That North Koreans cannot just get
North Korean workers. There was North Koreans that were allowed to leave. I don't know if you're aware. The United Nations Resolution 2397 banned it.
Oh, wait.
They're not allowed to leave.
Stop. Let me understand this. I asked you. I said, I'm a North Korean. I want to leave. You said tough titties. You have to stay. So which is it?
What do you mean? You have to stay? You can't leave unless you're going for a sporting event.
Which is it? Can I leave or do I have to stay if I'm a North Korean? Are North Koreans free to leave or are they
You have to stay. You have to stay.
So why?
Unless the government of the DPRK gives you permission, you cannot leave.
Why is this? Look, are North Koreans leaving in general? Are they free to travel? Are they free to leave?
Yeah, they're defecting, but they're not allowed to leave. It's a law. They can't leave.
1 second, I have to.
Unless the government gives them approval.
Hold on, I need to send a message.
You need the government's permission to leave. You can't just leave on your own accord.
1 second.
Because it's a socialist system, but all right. Obviously, you need the government's approval.
Okay. So why is North Korea different? That it's basically impossible to leave and people get shot, as you said, when they try to run away. Where in the rest of the planet, this issue does not exist, basically. People can leave and people can come and go. Why is North Korea different?
I told you it's harmful to the economy.
Why is it different? Why is North Korea different?
Because they can't send workers outside of the country, so they have to keep all of them inside of the country.
Why is North Korea different? This is, whatever argument you make, why do you make it for North Korea?
You've asked me this, and I've given you like 3 different answers.
Why is it different? Why is North Korea different? Why is it different?
I've answered your question.
What's the answer?
Because they have to leave. Their workers can't leave the country, so they have to keep them inside.
You're not answering why it's different. You're not answering. You could give this answer for any country.
Told you. I just told you their workers can't leave the country, so they have to keep the workers inside the country. That's the answer.
Why? Okay, I don't. I'm asking you why is North Korea different than the rest of the planet?
Well, I just gave it to you because no other country on the rest of the planet.
Yeah. I'm listening.
Are you okay? Maybe you're not. Maybe you're not saying it. Do you mean in terms of immigration, working abroad, or do you mean
In
just in general? What?
general, I don't know. In general, North Korea seems to hold its citizens like a jail. You run away, they shoot you.
No, it's not in general. Then you're speaking about immigration and working abroad.
In general,
So I've answered. I've answered your question.
In general, I know people from every country and every place on earth. I don't know North Koreans, except for
Because they're not allowed to leave the country
Why is
unless the
why is-
government gives them permission.
Why is North Korea different in that respect? So you agree North Korea is
Because
basically
they would
Look, you
before
agree-
2018. Okay, before 2018, you were allowed to work abroad as a North Korean. The government gave you could work abroad as a North Korean. The United Nations resolution, which I gave you, United Nations resolution 2397,
Why is North
prohibited North Korean workers
Why is
from
North
leaving the
Korea-
country. From leaving.
North Korea different than the rest of the planet? Why is it so unique? I'm honestly asking.
In what aspect?
But the North Koreans, as you said, is basically holding its citizenry in a jail. If they try to run away, they get shot.
I didn't say it was a jail. Those are your words.
You said if they run away, they get shot. And if they run away, you're going to return them. It sounds like a jail. It's fine. You don't want to call it a jail, fine. But they're holding
It's not a jail,
Yes,
no,
it's not-
because a jail has different.
country. Yeah, it's a country. It's not a jail. But it sounds sounds like a jail. If I run away, they shoot me, and if I run away, people like you send me back. That's pretty much a jail. I don't fine. It's not the definition. Why is North Korea different like this? Why is the rest of the planet different than North Korea? What's so unique about North Korea that creates this weird circumstance?
I'm literally telling you because you're referring. I think are you mixing up things because I'm telling you why it's different in the aspect of immigration and working abroad. Okay, because that's what you're referring to. You're calling it a jail because you can't leave the country. I've explained to you why you can't leave the country
Why is
if
it
you're a North Korean.
different? But
Yet
why-
you still
why does
seem
this-
confused
why doesn't
because
this-
I don't know if you're voicing your concerns properly.
Why do you think North Korea is different like this? Why is it such a unique country? No other country has these restrictions. Why is it such an
Are you asking me? Can you give me? All right, no. All right. Let's stop this right here because this, I think, the 10th time you've asked me the same question. In what aspect specifically? What makes it unique from other nations? Specifically, what are you referring to?
I know people literally from every place on earth. I've met people from every place on
That's not an answer. I don't need your monologues. Tell me specifically what.
I'm asking my
What?
I never met anyone.
Your question is either too broad or you don't know how to ask it. Tell me, what do you mean by why is North Korea so different? To which aspect of a North Korean's life are you referring to? Is it a place to stay, which could be immigration? Is it a place to work, which could be work abroad? Is it food security? Is it fucking what is it? Is it social services? What are you referring to?
I'm referring to the fact that you said if you try to run away from North Korea, they shoot you.
Yeah, I told you why you can't leave. So what isn't clear?
You're not answering the question. We're going in.
What?
circles.
Okay. Are you asking me why they can't leave?
No, I'm asking why is North Korea different that you can leave?
No, that's not what you're asking. Because I'm telling you how it's different. That's not. Do you hear yourself?
Why?
Do you hear yourself? You're saying. Why do they shoot them if you try to leave? I say, is your question why they can't leave? You say, no. Why are they different? What do you mean? The only reason why they shoot them is because they're not allowed to leave if they don't have the government's permission. That's why they shoot them. That's why it's different.
If I try to run
If
away,
you're
if I try to run away from any other country, would they shoot me?
No, they wouldn't shoot you because it's not that dire of a consequence for a nation if citizens are leaving.
Exactly.
For literally any other fucking country.
Exactly. Why Why is it so dire for North Koreans that when they leave, you say, "Oh, it's so dire"? Why is North Korea so different?
Because they're heavily sanctioned. You cannot do
Why?
anything.
Why?
As a North Korean citizen,
Why?
you have no rights.
Why are they so heavily sanctioned? Why?
Because they're anti-American, because they stand by their original values, because they are the original Korea. That is why they are against America. They are against the Yankees. They're like anti-colonialists,
Why?
right?
Why?
And
Why?
obviously they're
Why?
facing sanctions.
Why is North Korea-
Why are they? Because the U.S. attempted to colonize them during when Korea split off from Japan after the end of World War II. Korea had a socialist
Why?
government.
Why?
The USA
Why?
was scared of the so-called domino
Why?
effect.
Why? Stop. No monologues. Why did, according to you, the U.S. try to colonize North Korea? According to you, it
Yes,
apparently did not try to do this with any other country. So why did the U.S. try to do this?
they did.
So, no,
What do you think they did in
I'm
Kuwait?
asking you for a symmetry breaker. Why is North Korea different? So you're saying it's because North Korea is the only one that the U.S. tried to colonize? Yes or no?
It's not. It's not. That's right.
Then
It's
you're not
not. What do
giving
you
me
think
a
they did in
symmetry
Kuwait?
breaker. You're not giving me something that distinguishes North Korea from other countries. I'm asking you. I'm trying to steal, man. I'm trying to help your position. I'm trying to understand your position.
No, you're not. You're just not.
I am.
I get your question. I get, but it's because they have nuclear weapons. I'm assuming this is my assumption, but I'm assuming it's because they have nuclear weapons.
No, many countries have nuclear
Are not.
weapons. Many countries.
But are they ones that the U.S. colonized?
So it's
And they're also very large allies with China. So
so
the U.S. is main.
so you're saying so it's wait, so there's three reasons. Because they're allied with China, they have nuclear weapons, and the US try to colonize them, so they're anti-American. Because of these reasons,
Yes. What other nation has that? What other nation is like that?
look, didn't Trump step into North Korea? Didn't Trump try to, do something with North Korea? Didn't Trump try to make North Korea and Kim Jong-un his friend?
No, because that's not. He's not doing it out of the goodness of his heart. He's doing it because they're an enemy to the U.S.
Wait. So you're saying
They're a threat.
wait, but Trump actually went to North Korea. He stepped over the demilitarized zone, took a chance on his life that they would kidnap him. He stepped in to show good faith.
They
And
wouldn't kidnap him, but
what?
they wouldn't kidnap the president of the United
He
States.
didn't. That's what you say, but they could easily have. Anyway, he stepped alone.
I don't know why they would do so. They would get
But he
bombed
did it.
into oblivion.
He did it. Yeah, but he did it. He took a chance and he did it. He showed good faith, as much good faith as I think no one in the history of the planet would or did. Certainly, he showed as much good
No,
faith.
Tito went to Yugoslavia. Tito went to North Korea as well.
Kim Jong-un, you can make skyscrapers. You can have Trump Towers in whatever.
Pyongyang, yeah.
You can have tourists. It could be terrific. It could be great.
Yeah, if you ally yourself with the United States, you should be
Fine.
betraying Korean
Fine.
values.
So what do you mean? What do you mean? Why not ally yourself with the U.S.? Where's the problem? It's Croatia.
Because they're allies with China. Because they're allies with China.
What's
They're
the-
anti-US.
What's the contradiction? What's the contradiction? You can be allies with.
They're allies with China and they're anti-US.
But the U.S. trades with China. With the U.S. is an ally with.
Yeah, no, it's not great with China. If you couldn't tell, they're trying to ban China. Yeah, the U.S. is great with China because it's good for exports.
But-
China, okay, but they're not buddy with North Korea because North Korea is against the U.S. Rightfully so. So I don't see why North Korea should ally with a nation that tried to colonize them in the past, alongside
Why
the
not?
fact that they have
Why
their
not?
neighbors, which they despise, South Korea, an ex-American colony. Like, I understand why they should ally themselves.
Stop. Look, Noni, please stop with the long monologues and the long sentences. When I
Right, I'll give you a short answer. You want a short answer?
no. I want you to First of all, stop with the long sentences. And when I say stop, please stop. And when I try to interject, stop. Like when you talk, I immediately stop. There's no point in talking over each other. I'm here to convince you. I'm here to save your soul, and you're here to save my soul.
Oh,
So we care about each other. So I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to talk over you because I want to listen to you. Please don't talk over me. When I have a question, I want you to stop. Then stop, so we can talk. So you can listen to what's bothering me. Anyway, look. So why I'm trying to understand in your mind why is North Korea so different that it holds its citizenry basically like a jail. So you're telling me the reasons that the U.S. is its enemy, but Trump came in and North Korea could easily become an ally of the U.S. No one would be happier. The U.S. has many allies.
no.
Why not? Why not? What's the problem with that?
Because the U.S. is the one pushing the sanctions.
Fine,
The U.S. is the one that's.
fine. Then you
It's
can
not
stop.
fine. It's not fine. They attempted
You
to
can stop.
colonize you.
No,
They attempted.
I didn't
No,
say.
they attempted to colonize the country.
I didn't
They're
say.
pushing
I didn't
sanctions, and
stop.
now they're asking for an
Stop. Please
alliance.
stop. Please stop. When I beg you to stop, stop. And you're repeating.
You asked me. I gave you an answer that you're not
But
pleased
stop.
with, but it's
When I
true.
ask you to stop, then stop. There's no point in talking over. There's no point in us talking together. We're wasting each other's time.
I gave you the answer.
Listen, I don't want to waste your time. You don't want to waste my time. I'm trying to convince you. You're trying to convince me. No point in talking at the same time. So if I try to stop you, please stop. Anyway, look. So why not become an ally of the U.S.? What's the problem with the U.S.?
Do you want me to repeat it for the third time? Or are you looking
No,
for
stop,
the
stop.
timelines to shift?
Don't, stop, stop, stop. Stop. Just answer the question in short form. So why not become an ally of the U.S.?
Because of its bad history with the U.S.
But it's history.
and the U.S.'s intentions,
But it's history.
and because of the U.S.'s intentions with North Korea.
What do you mean intentions? What are the U.S. intentions?
What do you think happened? Well, you said yourself the U.S. has many allies.
Hmm.
Those allies literally cannot stray from what the U.S. thinks is proper. Those allies are very westernized. They have very American ideas, very liberal. It's not good. And obviously, if they're allying themselves with China,
But the U.S. Look, the U.S. is a free country. People do whatever they want.
it's not a free country.
What do you mean? People don't do
What
what
if
they
you
want?
can? You're free. You're free to. How is it a free country?
Well, you have freedom of
What?
expression.
Freedom. I couldn't hear you. Sorry. Freedom. What?
Expression.
Freedom of expression. I would. You mean like freedom of speech?
Yeah.
That we're referring to. Well, that's not, because freedom of speech is not really free. You don't have freedom of speech. If I were to start going on the street saying I hate gay people, I'd be arrested. It's freedom of speech, but it's not. You're not free to say whatever you want. You had a scandal recently. They put a transgender flag on the roads. People came and vandalized it, put tire marks on it, and they got arrested. Say it's my freedom of expression, and they still got arrested. You don't have freedom of expression in the U.S. It's more of a subjective thing. It's more of like when you say, "Oh, we're the land of the free." You're not. You're the land of the fee. They're a highly capitalistic society. They don't have the freedom. They have the freedom to what? To pay $10,000 for giving birth. That's the freedom that they have.
Let's talk about. Okay, so you're. I don't. Okay, but do you think that North Koreans have? Wait, but you said the U.S. So you're saying it's not good to be ally with the U.S. because there's suppression of speech?
I'm saying if it's not good to be allies with the U.S. because they very much push their ideas. It's kind of like erasing the cultural identity of that place.
Fine.
You know,
You know,
that's my
what's the
statement.
problem? What's the problem with that?
What's the problem with pushing American ideas and portraying America as this good nation that only has good in their heart? Yeah, there's an issue with that. because America's history is very bloody. And the wars that they had, and the wars that they interfered in, and the crimes that they committed shouldn't be forgotten,
Look, what do you mean shouldn't?
right?
Okay, look, wait. So, okay, so shouldn't be forgotten the history. You don't want to you don't want to forget the history.
Exactly, yeah.
Why not? What's
I
the
don't want to
point?
forget the history.
Why? Why is the history like which history are you referring to?
It's important
Like which history?
because you recognize the pattern.
Which
You
give
recognize the
give me
pattern
give
where
me an
the
example of history that you should not forget the U.S. did. What did the U.S. do so wrong that you should not forget it? Give me an example.
So I spoke about the colonization of Korea, but if you want me to bring up another example, it's
Wait,
the
the
interference.
Wait, the U.S. colonized Korea?
Yes, they attempted to. They only managed to get to south before the United
wait.
Nations stopped them with a resolution.
You're saying
But
the
if you
US
want, I can pick another
Hold on.
example.
No. This example is good. So you think the U.S. is currently colonizing South Korea?
No. You said history. They were colonizing.
So
South
why
Korea
did
was
they
a
leave?
colony. They put
So why did they leave?
what?
Why did they leave?
Because they instated. They formed South Korea and they left. They were still very. What do you mean?
Why did
They
they
left because they managed to. The whole point. It wasn't like the British Empire when they had colonies India. The whole point was the whole point of the colonization was to destabilize the socialist government. All they did was they got there. They got their own people to be ahead, like the heads of the states. They killed South Koreans for praising the North, and they left. That was the whole point. They didn't need the resources. They just needed to destabilize the socialist government.
So it's not
But if you want, I can talk about.
colonization. It's not colonization, right? You said they left.
Yeah, after the Korean War, after North Korea wasn't successful in
Stop.
liberating.
Please stop. When I say stop, please stop.
I explained. Okay.
No, I'm not looking for an explanation. I'm looking for one. I'm looking for something, not information. I don't need information. I have enough to go on. So, you said colonization, but then you said they left. So did the U.S. colonize South Korea?
Yeah, the U.S. colonized South Korea
So why did they leave?
because they got what they wanted from colonizing it.
How long did they colonize it for?
Since
How long?
since Korea proclaimed itself as a nation
Years.
up
How many
until
years did the U.S.
1950.
colonize South Korea?
1945 to 1950.
5 years.
Yeah, that's all it took. Because it was
So
up
it's
until
five-
okay, I think 1951. I think is when the Korean War
6
ended.
years,
So
fine.
1945 to 1951.
Stop. So 6 years. So for 6 years, the U.S. was colonizing South Korea for 6 years.
Yeah,
It's a sick. How many Americans were living in this? Where was this colony? Was it a colony inside South Korea?
yeah. South Korea. They were slowly moving upwards. Yeah, they were a colony.
There were American colonies inside South Korea.
Sorry, what was the second? Yeah, they were there. The South Korea was the colony.
So there was Americans. How many Americans were colonizing South Korea during those 6 years?
What do you think? It was the American government colonizing it. What do you mean?
How many Americans were colonizing South Korea during those 6 years?
What are you asking
I'm
for?
asking how many.
It was the American
In my
government.
mind, America is not a colonizer. So for you to claim that America colonized anything is bizarre to me. So I'm looking for the
Yeah,
evidence.
because they portray themselves like.
No, they don't portray themselves. In my mind,
As a libertarian.
I am portraying them. I don't care what America does. I'm telling you what America is. Americans happen to say different things. I claim America is not a colonizer. I'm actually pro-colonizing. I think America should colonize the entire planet by force right now. So for you to tell me that America
That wouldn't work.
What?
That wouldn't work.
We can talk about that in a separate debate. But for you to tell me that America colonized South Korea is bizarre. A 6-year colony is bizarre. How many Americans?
Because the
No.
point of the colony.
How many Americans? How many
Because-
Americans? You're saying it's not even Americans. It's
You're not
Americans.
asking. You're not. How many Americans? That's not a question.
Trying
How
to-
many Americans were
I'm trying to-
colonizing it?
I'm trying-
That's irrelevant. Okay, how does that? What value does that give you?
I'm trying to vision in my mind. I'm trying to envision or visionize, trying to visionize a vision, trying to create a vision in my mind of this colony, this American colony in South Korea. I'm trying to see where, I'm trying to imagine it. So I'm asking how many Americans. You said, well, it's the American government. That's not a colony, but fine. How many Americans? You're not even giving me an answer. So yeah, it's exactly what I thought. No American
300,000 troops. 300,000 troops.
in a country of how
Sent
many?
to
In a
Korea.
country of how many? That's troops. That's not a colony. That's troops.
What do you think? They went there and struck a peace deal with the South, saying you're gonna be under our ownership right now. What do you think happened?
You can call it other names, military intervention. You can call many, but
It's not a military intervention. It's colonization. It's an
No.
invasion.
okay. Look, fine. Then we disagree on the definition. I'm not fine. It's okay.
You want to call it an invasion? I'll call it an invasion if
No,
it makes you. If
no,
you think.
No, it's not. It's fine.
Well, what did they do then?
So
What would you call? No, I'm sorry, but what would you call when a nation goes onto another sovereign nation and occupies their land? What is it other than
I
an invasion?
I don't know the history of the
And
Korean.
destabilize. It's like, oh, I'm telling you right now. They went to Korea.
You don't have
They wanted to.
you don't need to convince me that America does many things that I would never do. I would be completely different.
But you asked me where. You asked me for an example.
No.
Didn't you?
I'm trying to understand why you claim Kim Jong-un hates America so much. So Donald Trump came to visit him in his own country and basically
Yep.
offered him. There's a lot of noise coming from your side.
Yeah, that's someone else. Someone else joined. Someone was screaming. I don't.
So look. So
Oh, look,
it
okay.
sounds like the Kim Jong-un has enough to go on to make peace with America and stop all the sanctions and everything will be great. So I'm trying to understand why he's not doing this.
Because why would he become America wouldn't feed the entirety of the Korean population, and it wouldn't be good because they're allies with China, and China's a far better ally than the U.S.
But America has. Why not become like China? Why wouldn't North Korea become like China? I'm trying to understand. Look, I'm claiming.
In what sense?
Look, I'm claiming. Let's reset. So I'm claiming that Kim Jong-un is starving his people deliberately because he could easily become like China. There's nothing stopping him from becoming just like China and for his people to live in luxury. I know Chinese people, they live right now in luxury. A lot of them. And I know the North Koreans and they live starving. So Kim Jong-un can be just like.
Oh, you know North Koreans.
Excuse me?
You said you know North Koreans now, but before you stated you didn't.
I know the North Korean situation. I don't know any North Koreans personally.
Mm-hmm. But you don't know them. But you it's like you said your boss was from Afghanistan, so you know the situation from Afghanistan. But you don't know any North Koreans. But yet you are very educated on. Okay.
I told you I was just like you until not too long ago. So I used to love.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
What do you mean it doesn't mean anything to you?
Because your definition, I doubt it. Sincerely, I doubt it.
What do you mean?
That you were
telling
like.
I'm telling you,
because-
I used to be just like you. What do you mean you doubt it? I used to defend
Because
Korea just like you.
I doubt because defending North Korea is not the same as
Why
having
would
my
I lie?
viewpoint. Because
Why would-
your viewpoint.
Why would I
is-
lie? Why would I lie?
I don't think you're lying. I think you're just misunderstanding my viewpoints because you think that. Okay, I get your point. You're saying.
I was pro North Korea. Now,
Okay, this doesn't mean you're the same as me. But I want to ask you. So you think that if North Korea was to ally with the U.S.,
I'm the
there
same.
wouldn't be
I'm
starvation?
the same. I used to be the same as you in terms.
That's not what I'm asking you.
I'm
I'm asking you just this. I'm asking you in reference to your recent argument. If North Korea was to ally,
Let me finish this sentence. I used to be just like you in terms of defending North Korea in terms of claiming North Korea is innocent, of Kim Jong Un is innocent. I used to be on his side, on their side, on his side. I am no
Okay.
longer on his side. I'm against him. I think he should be executed for for crimes against humanity. I think he is deliberately starving his people. I think he is
Mhm.
murdering and torturing. So, but I used to be like you. I used to defend him. I used to plan. I probably could pull up my application to move to North Korea. I plan to move to North Korea.
Really great.
What?
Really great. I saw those forms. Yeah, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking
Yeah, I
you.
don't understand. What?
Yeah, I know I saw the forms for the immigration. I understand. That's really great that you were so passionate about it. But
Okay.
I'm asking you, like, it's impressive, honestly. But like, I'm asking you, so you believe that if North Korea was to ally with the U.S., which shouldn't be an issue according to you, they
Like
wouldn't
China.
have they wouldn't have the starvation.
Just become like China. Nothing is stopping Kim Jong Un.
But how? What do you mean? In what sense? How
Just
did they become? How did they become China?
copy paste China. How China is. Copy paste China.
But China has a lot. China has a large workforce. That's why it's able to do. It has a lot of cheap labor. It has 1.4 billion people.
But China,
That's
look,
not.
China is in communication with the U.S. China has treaties or it trades with the U.S. Be like China. Be
Yes,
like
but
China. Try to
I
be.
do like China.
Oh, he is like China.
But that's what I'm telling you. Like,
He is like China. Wait, what did you say?
I like China. I like China, but I'm asking you. But I'm telling you right now, the history of China and the U.S. is not the same as the history of
I'm
Korea and the
saying it's the
U.S.
same, but why not copy China?
Because I don't think it's. I just told you it's a difference in workforce. It all comes down to the workforce. They don't have amount. They don't have the right amount of people to do what China's doing.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying why is North Korea different than the rest of the world? That's what I'm asking. Become like China, become
In
like Afghanistan, become like Iran, become like Palestine, become like anything on the planet. Why is
how
North,
is no?
why not? Why not?
I mean, each country is individual. I don't understand.
No, but North Korea is
It's
different in terms
no.
of
Every country is different from
let me
another.
finish the sentence.
So you have to be more specific. Every country is different from another country.
Why do you not let me finish the sentence? I say half a sentence and you stop me, talk over me, and ask me how is it different when I'm about, because I recollect that you've asked me each time. So I'm going to say it, even though I've said it many times. It's the same question.
Yes, you've said it
Why
many times.
is North Korea different than every other country in terms of holding its citizenry like a jail? That if you try to run away, you said they get shot in the back. That's a quote from you. So that's not true for any other country. Why is North Korea different in that respect? And I'm asking why not become
Because
China?
of the workforce.
Become
Because
like China.
it affects.
Become like any country, any other. The rest of the countries are
Because
different. Not
China has an
China
abundant
specifically.
workforce.
Not China specifically. You have a list of countries. You can be like any other country. You can be like South Korea. Become any country. Become like any other country. Why are you repressing your people that they're starving?
Because it's heavily sanctioned. We've been through this.
Yes, we've
Because it's
been.
heavily
So why?
sanctioned.
Why? We're asking why? Why? Why not become like any other country so that you don't be sanctioned like the rest of the planet?
They're not sanctioned because they don't let their citizens leave.
I'm not saying that that's the reason. Why is North Korea unique? Why not? Why isn't Kim Jong Un becoming different so that he's not unique and that he has to hold his people hostage?
Because the country would collapse if he just let
Why
everyone
is
leave at their own
it
accord.
different? The rest, that's not, you don't use that argument for any other country. No other country would collapse if people would be allowed to leave. People are allowed to leave from every other country. No one else collapses, not even Venezuela.
Yeah, but those other countries are not in the same predicament that North Korea
Why?
is.
Why is North Korea unique?
Because of the sanctions. I don't understand. But you're
No,
looking, you're
look, the chicken and egg. What do you mean? So don't be whatever causes this. Why is it unique in the sanctions? What's causing it? Why? So the world, America hates North Korea extra special.
Yeah.
So what's going on?
Yeah, they hate North Korea. They
Why?
hate North Korea, and
Why?
they're trying to suppress it
Why?
maximally
Why?
because it's an existential threat. If they're
America-
allies with
wait,
China,
But wait, because it's allied with China. That's but
yes.
but
Here's the
China,
thing. Here's the thing. It's an existential threat. It has nuclear weapon. It has nuclear weapons,
same as
right?
China.
And it will use
Same as
them if the
China.
U.S. goes into a what?
It's the same as China. You're not saying something different about.
Yes, but they're not
Korea.
trading with North Korea. All it is, it's this country that hates America. It has weapons of mass destruction. Obviously, the U.S. would hate it. So then they say, oh, we're going to sanction it because they're an existential crisis, existential threat, not registering the fact that they're the reason why they have nuclear weapons.
Yeah, but China also has nuclear weapons.
Yeah, but China is not in the same situation with the U.S. as North Korea is.
Why? Why is?
Because the U.S. had way more interventions on the land of on the land of Korea than it did with China.
But that's in the past. That's in the past.
Yeah, should it be ignored because it's in the past? Should it be pushed back because it's in the past?
Yeah.
Should it be ignored?
Yeah. What's the point?
No, it shouldn't be ignored. It shouldn't be ignored. If the U.S.
You concede.
holds itself
You
as a libertarian
You
nation,
just conceded.
they have fought them July.
You just conceded. I'm letting you know. Let me explain. You can retract that. You just conceded. So you agree that the starvation is deliberate. You just agreed.
No.
Yeah, you did. You said, why make friends with the U.S. again? Why should North Korea forget what the U.S. did in the past? So for this reason, you're starving the people. That's deliberate. So you're deliberately starving
What?
people.
You're grasping for straws here. So no, I said, why should they ally with the U.S. after the U.S. tried to destroy them? And you said, aha.
Exactly.
No, it's not exactly. They're allying. Do you think the U.S. is not working against North Korea right now?
You're conceding. You're conceding. You don't see that?
I'm not conceding.
Yes, you are. So I'm asking you again. Look.
It's not. It's the thing. You can't comprehend it. That doesn't mean I'm conceding.
So okay. So
you're not comprehending it. I don't see what's not clicking.
Okay.
You have a country that tried to.
So the children of North Korea are starving because of a grudge Kim Jong-un is harboring for America. That's what you're saying. That's what you said, right? That's what you said. So
no, that's not what I said. So that's not what I said because allying with the U.S. is not the cure for starvation in North Korea.
Quick question. Can I just ask about the context question that you guys are talking about?
Sure.
Just for
my
knowledge.
We're talking about food security in North Korea and how, just I think in general, like food security in North Korea, right?
Not exactly. Square. Do you want to be more specific? What do you understand? What you don't understand?
Yeah, no. I just kind of came where you guys are, talking about just deliberate starvation. So I didn't know if what was going on, but hearing about.
Asking if I think our current topic, where we kind of strayed a lot, but the current topic was is Kim Jong Un deliberately starving his people?
All right, thank you.
That was the issue.
There is a YouTube stream that we started. You can go watch it from the beginning if you want.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Is there a link in the chat?
Yeah, you can scroll up.
That's the YouTube link. But as I was saying,
listen, it's been it's been 3 hours. For me, it's already I gotta get back to work. Let me first ask you for friendship so we can be in touch. Oh, add a friend. That's weird. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we can continue this sometime else.
Sure. Yeah, it's a good discussion. So, do you feel? Let's stop at this point. Let's just conclude. So, do you feel that your position has been shaken? Are you rethinking?
I'm not rethinking. I'm aware of everything that's been happening. So yeah, I mean, not really. No,
Mhm.
maybe slightly in terms of elections, but besides that,
Mhm. Why do you think, if it's true that North Korea doesn't have elections, so why do you think that's true?
I think they do have elections. I just think they're not the most legitimate
Why? Why not make it
because
legitimate?
it wouldn't be in the interest of the Workers' Party of Korea, which again is
That's
pretty
huge.
bad that they're
So again,
Workers' Party of Korea, because the Workers' Party of Korea is a party that's been going since the 50s. So it hasn't always been Kim Jong Un. It's been his grandfather and
currently, yeah, but currently,
his father,
uh,
Kim
isn't
Jong Un.
isn't that kind of weird that it sounds like a dynasty? It sounds like a monarchy instead of democracy. That the
No, I just think they've done a lot for the nation, and they lie
if,
sometimes to the
if
nation, and the nation
how could
believes
it be
it's the best
how
candidate.
could democratic? How could it be statistically speaking that democratically they elected the grandfather, the son, and the grandson? Isn't that bizarre?
Because they've done the most for the nation. The nation
Isn't it,
believes that
isn't it
it's been going
bizarre?
like this.
Isn't it bizarre? Yes or no? Isn't it bizarre? Have you ever heard of this? 3 generations straight democracy? Have you ever?
No, I haven't. But I mean, considering the fact that most of your arguments are based on things that have not happened yet, I don't think it's bizarre for me to say no. It's not bizarre. It hasn't been done anywhere else before, but I think it's fine.
I didn't. No.
Statistically, it's highly improbable. I mean, yeah, it's
Oh, it's highly improbable, suggesting that there is no democracy. It's a
no, I worded it wrong. There is a democracy. I'm just saying
It's statistically
it's
statistically improbable. So it sounds like a monarchy.
no, that's not what I meant. I didn't mean to say statistically improbable.
Wouldn't you
I
say?
meant to say
Wouldn't you say that instead of a democracy, it looks more like a monarchy?
no, I wouldn't.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
statistically speaking, you're saying it's improbable to reproduce this, but you're saying it's not a monarchy.
I'm saying it's a low chance of it happening, but it's not a monarchy. I'm saying it's a low chance that the son, the grandfather, the son, the father and the son are like elected, but it's not. I mean, I've told you exactly why that is. It's because there's a lot of propaganda. Like this is not. I'm not talking about Trump saying, "Oh, I'm the best party."
You can argue for a party, but this is one.
This is propaganda. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about
No.
promotional
If it's
material.
propaganda for the party, the Workers' Party, you could say, yeah, it's the Workers' Party. It's like in China, but this is a lineage, it's like a monarchy.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, that's a valid point. But why would they? I mean, they're electing. Who else? Who else? I mean, if they're electing, you have Kim Il Sung. Okay, he made North Korea. He dies. And they're saying, well, who else to elect? Like the Workers' Party of Korea. I mean, who else are they going to run other than his son? And then Kim Jong Il dies. That was the son. And we're saying, well, who else to better to run out? If it worked so great with Kim Jong Il, why not run Kim Jong Un? And it's working great with Kim Jong Un. And then after Kim Jong Un dies, they're either running Kim Joo-ae, which is his daughter, or they're running Kim Yo Jong. We'll see either way.
Either way, the lineage will continue. You're saying.
It's not a.
What do you mean it's not a lineage?
It's a lineage, but it's it will. It might. I think it could. I think it could. I think it can always change. For example, it's always been men so far. Like, have you noticed? It's like the grandfather, it's a father, then it's the grandson. But I think it's gonna change when Kim Jong Un dies because he has a daughter and he has a sister, but he doesn't have a brother. I mean, he had a brother that was killed.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a son.
It sounds like a monarchy. That's how a monarchy would. That's how monarchies behave. They have sometimes queens and sometimes kings, but it's always the same lineage.
It's not a monarchy though, because in a monarchy you don't have elections. But again, we've talked about the legitimacy of those elections, and we still disagree on that area.
No, we don't disagree. We agree on the facts. We don't disagree.
No, I disagree. You're saying those are show elections.
No.
Would you say that those elections are rigged,
No,
or
I
are
don't
you
say
saying is that
we
what?
agree on the evidence. We both have the same evidence. We agree on the science. We don't disagree on the science.
No, I think we're interpreting the evidence differently.
No. You and I have the same evidence. There's no interpretation. We agree on the
No,
evidence.
there is. You are interpreting the evidence differently than I am.
What do you mean what does it even mean?
Well, I mean, because you're saying, because the Wikipedia article, the statement, like people from the outside are saying it's show elections. I'm saying, well, that's not Wikipedia saying that. They're stating that someone else is stating
Let
that.
me ask you this: do we disagree on anything in this universe as far as evidence is concerned? You have a disagreement.
So we definitely disagree on a lot of things.
Like what? Give me one example from this universe scientifically.
That the United States would be able to colonize the entire world. That's what we disagree on.
Okay. All right. I'm saying in relation to our debate, is there something we disagree on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because your proposed solution to ending starvation in North Korea is an alliance with the United States. While my standpoint is that would fix anything, and we just
disagree on anything in the universe as far as evidence is concerned.
I think you guys actually agreed on the evidences and what's taking place. And I think, Nani, you actually mentioned it perfectly when you said that you guys see everything together, but where you guys think things should go or how you guys see what's taking place, the interpretation of it does definitely differ between you two.
Squared. I appreciate that, but you can. It's up to Noni to. I want her. I'm trying to convince her. So, but
you have very radical standpoints. It's like, it's because I understand that we're gonna have differing viewpoints, but you have this very pro-America stance where you believe there is no starvation in America.
Okay, as far as evidence is concerned, what do we disagree on? Scientifically, as two scientists, give me one example.
Yeah, you agree. All right, do you want to know what we disagree on as well in terms of our debate? The link that I sent you of food insecurity in the US, you disagreed with that. Even though we had the same evidence, you said, I don't agree with this. That I know how NGOs work, you said. And I don't believe there's a single starving person in the US, even though I gave you two links. That's what we disagreed on.
We reviewed the evidence. Did I deny the evidence?
Then you reviewed the evidence and you said, I don't agree with this.
What do you mean? We read. Is there a single word?
But you said, didn't you say? Okay.
Which word? Which word did I disagree with in the evidence you presented?
You told me. Well, let's see. Do you believe that there are starving people in the U.S.?
Which word in the evidence you presented did I disagree with? Give me the word.
How am I supposed to know? Do you think I remember your arguments?
No,
verbatim?
not the argument. The word. Give me. We reviewed the article you sent. I don't remember disagreeing with anything. We reviewed every word. It supports my position. I don't.
No. Okay. Well. So all right. So do you think there is starvation in America? Yes or no?
We had
because if it's not, I'm not saying you. I'm not saying I'm trying to change your viewpoint. I'm just trying to show you that we do disagree on some aspects. You said there is no starvation in the U.S.
I asked you for evidence. You presented evidence. We read through the evidence. The evidence supports my position, but we don't disagree on the evidence.
No, I'm not talking about Miller guy. I'm talking about I'm talking about 34 million Americans that are food insecure. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I don't disagree with that.
So, So your original standpoint was there is no starvation. There's not a single starving person. Now you agree that there is starvation.
Different words. Food insecurity and starvation are two different words.
Both are when you are unable to. You don't know when your next meal is going to be.
No, okay, maybe, but it's two different words.
But again, still, so you even though
I asked for evidence of starvation. Food insecurity is not evidence of starvation.
But I gave you the amount of people in the U.S. that died due to malnutrition.
I asked for evidence of starvation. We went through the evidence. If you have more evidence, that's fine. Maybe we'll review it. I came to the conclusion that we're deadlocked on this issue, but I don't remember. Yeah, thank you. But I don't remember disagreeing with a single word of a single source that you presented during this entire debate. So I don't see that we disagree on the facts, on reality, on the scientific evidence.
Well, we disagree on the Wikipedia article. That's the main. That's what we disagree on.
Which word do we disagree on?
It's not one word.
Fine. Which sentence do we disagree on?
You want me to? Okay, I'll read it out for you. Wait. Oop. Wait. Let me just read out the. I know exactly which one it is. Let me just scroll upwards a bit here. There we go. Wikipedia. Okay. So we disagreed on. Okay. Outside. So with only one candidate on the ballot in each constituency, outside observers described it as a show election. And this is where you and I disagreed because we interpreted it differently. We had the same evidence, yet we
disagree
show
on reality. Do we disagree on any scientific evidence, on anything that we can measure in reality? Do we disagree?
I don't think we were talking about. We talked about measures very rarely during this debate.
Actually, we talked.
And no measures were actually.
We talked about metric specifically with respect to this very sentence. That is the sentence where metrics came up.
But I'm telling you. But again, my issue was that we don't know who these outside observers were.
Did I disagree?
While
with
you
that?
took it.
Did I disagree with that?
No, but you still took it as evidence.
Yeah.
You still took it as evidence that those elections were show elections, even though you didn't know. That's where we disagree, and it's okay that we disagree. We should disagree.
No, we don't disagree about scientific evidence. You could say we disagree about the.
What scientific evidence is here?
No. You could say that we disagree on the definition of evidence. When do you ignore evidence? But we're not disagreeing about the evidence presented during the debate. Evidence presented during the debate, I conceded all the evidence.
That's not evidence.
What? What do you mean?
I don't think that's evidence. If someone says
all the sources, let me say again. All the sources you linked, every word of which I didn't disagree with. Not a single word.
Again, it's all up to interpretation.
What? Which word did I disagree with? What are you talking? I did not disagree with a single word of evidence that you presented.
Food insecurity, where I interpreted food insecurity as starvation, where you're saying
for evidence of starvation and food insecurity, two different concepts.
Yes, and I told you about the veteran, and we disagree whether he's starving, whether food insecurity.
Look, we did not disagree about anything in this universe. That's not true. We agree on reality.
That's a very subjective term, reality, because it's the way you see things.
I don't remember having any disagreement with you about reality. So you try.
If we didn't have it,
right? You can fine. We can have the next discussion. We could discuss if we actually disagree. Fine. I didn't notice a disagreement about reality. We don't have a scientific disagreement. That's all I'm saying. So scientifically, right now we're in complete unison, completely in a complete agreement. The innocence that your proposition has, we're still debating. Would you define it as innocence? Is it still innocent? I mean, I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm still saying he's innocent.
Right.
in terms of deliberate starvation.
understand, but that's not a science. That's innocence is not a scientific proposition. You cannot measure scientifically innocence. And if you could define it as scientific, then that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to nail down this your proposition to be.
Where exactly are you going with this? I would just like to know the end goal of where you're going with this.
What do you mean? My end goal is to convince you that Kim Jong Un.
We can debate, and I'm not opposed to debate. And you've stated numerous times that your end goal is to convince me. But I'm asking, where are you going with this when you're stating, oh, we disagree on this, but we don't disagree on that? I know. I've been present throughout this, 4-hour debate. I've been present through it. I understand the things that we disagree on.
I don't disagree with. I didn't find us disagreeing with anything about the universe. We completely agree scientifically. So what I need to convince you, so I don't think I'm going to convince you by presenting you with evidence of the universe, and neither are you. We're both familiar with this universe. So I need to convince you that Kim Jong-un is terrible for humanity, and you need to convince me that Kim Jong-un is terrific for humanity. You think he is terrific. You think his political party is terrific.
I don't think he's terrific for humanity. My personal stance is that no nation should have the amount of power that the U.S. has. I don't think it's Kim Jong-un's job to do that. I don't think he's amazing for humanity. I just think he should be able to run his country the way he wants to without having its sanctions to the ground.
How does this have anything to do with the U.S. powers? We're talking about. So again,
because the U.S.
Again, let me just add this. Again, I feel that you are conceding. If you're saying that Kim Jong-un is fighting some virtual war against his virtual enemy, or what you're imagining, maybe he's also imagining, I'm not sure. So it sounds to me like a deliberate starvation. It sounds like he's deliberately starving his people because he wants to, somehow.
See, like that's where we disagree, because you believe that allying with the U.S. would stop the starvation, whereas I'm saying no, it wouldn't stop the situation. It would starvation, and it would make the situation worse. It would raise tensions.
Wait 1 second. Let me ask you this: if the U.S. went in and killed Kim Jong Un and converted North Korea into 51st state of the U.S., do you think that the average quality of life of a North Korean would be higher or lower?
Lower.
Lower?
Because do you know why I think I think it will be lower?
Do you think the quality of life of North Koreans is higher than the U.S.?
No, I'm saying no. I'm saying the quality of life of North Koreans is better under Kim Jong-un than it would be under the U.S.
How? How is that possible? I mean, the U.S. has 50 states. They all have the highest quality of life on average on the planet.
Do you understand why? But I'm saying that I'm not. You need to understand that if the U.S. were to just invade North Korea, it wouldn't have it wouldn't have the life standard as the states in the United States have.
Why not?
Because we know this because of what the United States did in South Korea during their occupation of it, how they treated the citizens.
Okay.
The whole, do you know the reason that the Korean War started is because of the U.S.'s treatment of South Koreans?
Stop. Listen. So let's imagine North Korea. Let's imagine somebody goes up to Kim Jong-un, kills him, and takes over, and says, "We're joining. Let's have elections. We're going to join America." And they hold elections, and most Koreans say, "Yeah, let's become the 51st state." So the next day they become the 51st state. Do you think time Korean quality of life.
That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen because every North Korean is very anti-US.
Hello?
Yeah.
The whole reason. Hello.
Wait,
So the whole reason.
Wait, let's.
The reason of.
I heard you. I heard you. Wait. Yeah. Somebody has a question. Question from the audience.
Huh?
Yes.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The contention is, WPK. Nobody knows what WPK is. The Workers' Party of Korea candidates are innocent, meaning Kim Jong Un is
Oh,
innocent.
fuck that.
Oh.
Interesting. I love that approach. But anyways, that wouldn't happen because Koreans, or North Koreans specifically, are very anti-US. And it's taught in Korean schools. Do you understand why the Korean War began? It was because of American treatment of South Korea. So while I do get why you think that their life expectancy or life standard would increase, it wouldn't.
Let's assume that. One second, I have a text message I need to answer.
You guys said life standard also. What do you guys mean by that?
It's a metric.
There's a lot. It's a metric. It's a metric. Wait.
Like you could say GDP per capita, basically.
No, GDP doesn't. It's
per capita.
No, it's the HD. It's not GDP. It's HDI, Human Development Index.
Whatever. However,
because GDP doesn't measure.
All right. So let's assume that North Koreans, we give them, America, whatever, whoever takes over, convinces North Koreans, tell them, look, you've been brainwashed. Here's the data. I think it's good.
That can't happen. No.
Hold on. Let's say that theoretically, let's grant me that they become convinced and they vote to join. Do you think their quality of life will go up or down as the 51st state?
Okay, I'll answer that question. But first, why am I answering this hypothetical if it's not possible in any way?
Look,
it's not possible.
Look, you have to answer a question in a debate.
Okay, I'll answer your hypothetical right now. Yeah. I think if every Korean citizen was compliant with the U.S. for some reason,
no,
the life standard would increase, but not significantly.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I'm asking for a yes or no. I gave you the hypothetical.
Yes, slightly. Yes, slightly.
Don't change the hypothetical. Just give me a yes or no.
Yes, slightly. Yeah, no, that's what you said. Okay. Okay. So wait, are we allowed as Koreans? Are they normal and they're allowed? Are they resisting American occupation, or do we live in a fantasy land where every single Korean wants there to be American domination over the Korean peninsula?
It's not. Okay, we're not talking about domination. We're talking about joining as the 51st state.
What is that other than domination? Okay, yeah, it would increase.
I'll grant it would increase. So
slightly, yes, it would increase.
So.
Can you describe how? Just for my clarity.
If she can.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen. That's what I'm saying.
If she can.
Okay, I'll give you a hypothetical.
Wait, Squared.
You want
me? No, 1 second. Just let me explain to Squared. Look, if she grants me that, then I want to go on that. If you need to understand why.
Okay.
That's like a separate debate, and I could have it with you.
Oh, right.
I'm sure you disagree and stuff. That's fine. But if she...
No, I'm not even disagreeing. I just want to
understand.
So I'll give you a hypothetical.
No.
If sanctions were stopped on North Korea.
No.
Okay, now it's your turn to answer my question because my question is also very relevant.
Okay.
If sanctions were stopped on North Korea, right? Would the HDI, would the Human Development Index, would the life standard increase? Yes or no? For the Korean people, what do you think?
Difficult to tell. I don't know. I don't know what it entails. It could.
So, all right, I'll tell you. I'll give you a quick breakdown. They can import as much as they want. They can export as much as they want. They can send workers to work outside. Yeah, that.
Yeah, probably.
So we have two ways of going about this. You would agree, right? So you have your one where it becomes the 51st state of America, and you have my one where we're stopping all sanctions. Both are extreme. Mine is extreme. Yours is extreme. Right?
Wait.
Or at least we.
Yours is
that.
not,
We have two.
wait 1 second. 1 second. So yours is not extreme. I mean, what does North Korea need to do to remove the sanctions? It's no other country has these sanctions.
Well, that's why I'm calling my example extreme. My example would be rational, but it's extreme because it wouldn't happen, right? For the
No, you have to stop cutting me off mid-sentence. That's
Okay,
not fair. I
finish.
never cut you off. I always let you finish. I wait a second and then I start answering.
Okay, say.
So why is North Korea sanctioned?
Because they're not allying with the West.
Why not?
They're
Why
actually
are they
very
not?
anti-West.
Why are they not allying with the West?
Because the West is the one that's sanctioning them. It's a loop.
So break the loop. Donald Trump crossed the DMZ, shook his hand.
Doesn't matter. He didn't cross the DMZ first of all, but he went into North Korea.
Yeah.
But he didn't go there out of the goodness of his heart. Trump is against China. What do you think? What do you think?
Just break the loop. What's stopping Kim Jong-un from breaking the loop?
Because they rely solely on China. China wouldn't allow it.
So you think China wouldn't allow it?
I don't think there's a
What's your
need
evidence?
because it
What's your
wouldn't
evidence?
improve.
What's your evidence that China wouldn't allow it? So
Because why would China want a Western ally right next to it, bordering it? And even if it's not just about China, my friend. It's about the fact that what would they get from allying with the West? They just become. So first of all, their population is very anti-American. You have 26 million Korean citizens that hate America. All of a sudden, you say, "Oh, guys, wait, we love America," because they're going to stop sanctioning us if we say we love America. That wouldn't work. Like, you're aware of the amount of stuff they're taught in schools. Like, they are very anti-American. So that's why it wouldn't work. It wouldn't function.
So why are they being brainwashed to be anti-American?
I don't. It's not brainwashing. America is not a good country, and you shouldn't be allies with it just because. Like, they should be allowed to exist in peace without allying with a warlord.
Yeah, you're conceding the debate. You're like you want
I don't know.
to punish the U.S. You're saying you should not ally with the U.S. and starve the children. You're saying yes, starve the children.
No, because allying with the U.S. wouldn't stop starvation.
Look, listen to what you're saying. Punish the U.S.
I am.
Listen. I'm just repeating what you just said. You said yes. You should not be allied with the U.S. The U.S. is punish the U.S. even at the cost of starving the children. So that's deliberate. Being deliberate.
That's not what I said. That's not at all what I said. You're twisting my words entirely. I said no. I said.
So why are you teaching the next generation to hate America?
Because I just told you. I literally explained to you before. Allying with America would not solve their starvation issues. And there is no need for a country to ally with a warlord to keep its sovereignty.
Stop. I'm confused. That's not. I didn't say. Like, you're saying there's a loop. So I'm saying break the loop. I'm trying to help you break this loop. You're like refusing to break the loop. It's like you want to starve the children. You can break.
It's not. It's not starving the children. No, listen.
You said no. You're contradicting yourself. You said if we eliminate the sanctions, we'll increase the quality of life of the North Koreans. You said this. So I'm saying,
yes.
Why not live?
But that's not the way to go about it. Eliminating sanctions by allying with the U.S. is not.
Why not?
Yes, it would remove sanctions, but it would remove.
Why not? Why not? ally with the U.S.? Why not?
Because they should be allowed to function as a country without allying with the warlord that tried to occupy them.
But it's
With the warlord that is supplying
no,
their traitor neighbors with weapons.
fine, but it's behind us. Put it behind us.
It's not behind us. They have American military bases south of their nation.
Why do you
It's
care?
not behind us.
Why do you care?
No, I get that you don't care, but you have to put yourself in the shoes of Kim Jong Un. He cannot ally
not?
with the U.S.
not?
because he should be allowed. What do you mean? Why not? Because there's other ways to go about running a country than just allying with a warlord that tried to occupy them. With the warlord that's stockpiling weapons southern of their
Why
nation.
do you care? Why do you care? You have nuclear weapons. Why
What
do
do you
you
mean, why do you-
care? Why do you care?
What do you mean, why do you care? If you're an existential threat to the United States and they're stockpiling weapons beneath
nuclear
you, obviously you're gonna care.
But you have nuclear weapons. Why do you care? Why do you care?
What do you mean, why do you care? Because even though you have nuclear weapons, you don't have a workforce. You don't have imports. You don't have anything.
So stop this.
You're a
What do you mean?
struggling
So
nation.
but why is Korea so different? We keep running into the circle. Why is it different?
God.
Because of the sanctions. Stop the sanctions. Ally with it. Be like the rest of the planet.
No.
What no?
What do you mean, rest of the planet?
The rest.
There are nations that aren't allies with the U.S., but it doesn't matter. That's not what I'm.
Be like any other country that it's better off. That doesn't have to suppress its.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
It's not.
What's not?
How is it better? It's not better off. But my point being,
Wait, one second.
Go-
You're saying North Korea is the best country in the world? There's no one better off?
no,
So why?
no, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, so what do you mean?
I'm saying they should be allowed to exist without allying with the warlord that's trying to occupy them.
What do you mean?
That's my statement.
What do you mean trying to occupy?
They tried to occupy them, and then now that they didn't
It's
succeed in
behind
it,
us. It's many years ago. You're talking about.
it's not behind us because they have their southern neighbors and they're giving them weapons and they're like, do you understand that? It's
You
not
think the
behind
US
us.
you think the
History is
US
never behind
You
us.
think the? What do you mean that history is never behind us? 1,000
It's
years
not.
ago? Wait a minute. 1,000 years ago is also not behind us.
Modern history. I'm not talking about ancient
When-
China. I'm
when
talking about
is-
modern
when
history.
is the Korean War going to be behind us? Is it ever going to be behind us?
When the sanctions stop, do you understand the sanctions are happening because of the Korean War?
Why?
The sanctions are happening. They're happening because of the Korean War.
No.
So you're asking the DPRK, yes. What do you? Why else would they be sanctioning them? They're sanctioning them because they weren't able to they weren't able to occupy North Korea. So now they're destroying it with
Donald
sanctions.
Trump came to North Korea, offered Kim Jong
So-
Un his hand. Why didn't Kim Jong Un continue and oblige and be like China or Japan or
China is not pro-American. What do you want to understand? China.
I didn't say become pro-American. Just don't be so anti-American. Be like everybody
Why
else.
not? They tried to occupy them.
No one else is so anti-American, according to you. Why do you need to be so anti-American? Why do you need this? What's
Because North Korea,
What's the
Korea was they took half their land.
What's the benefit?
They literally took half their land.
But it's behind us. It's many years ago. Why do you continue?
How was it behind us? Why? Why should it be behind us?
Wait.
Because the children are
Can I ask?
starving.
It is behind us because it literally did occur in the past. But my question is, are you saying there like its influence and its weight and the context that it birthed is going to be completely divorced from the current state of affairs today and in fact the sentiments of the people today?
It's definitely it's gonna leave a
if
mark.
I-
It's gonna
like,
they
the
occupied.
example is like if I slap you right now and you're feeling the pain, I can argue, oh no, my slap is in history. There's no impact on you anymore, but you still feel the pain. Can I argue it's in the past?
You're asking me?
Yes. When you say it's in the past, that argument seems a little short-sighted when the context of the situation is very closely married to what took place.
Donald Trump came, shook his hand, offered him to. That's what Donald Trump said. Offered him to make Pyongyang, whatever, into a tourist city with Trump Towers. It could be wonderful with beautiful views.
Yeah,
It would be great, and nothing happened since. Why not? Why isn't Kim Jong Un moving forward and building a
what
country?
interest?
What do you mean?
But what's your answer though? Wait, because I really want to know your answer. When you're saying it's in the past, what you're saying is it shouldn't hold any weight or bearing on the current day and age.
You asking me?
Yeah,
Yes.
you.
Yeah, it's behind us. What do you mean? The U.S.
So if I slap you, like I'm gonna give you a clear example. If I slap you right now, and you feel the pain, would you move on like nothing has ever taken place?
No, of course not. But we're talking about something from 3 generations ago. That doesn't make
Yeah,
any sense.
principally, it's in the past though.
Look,
It's in
we're
the
talking-
past.
look, we're talking about
Doesn't make a difference, right?
No,
Because
three
Yeah, go ahead.
generations. If we slapped each other 3 generations ago, that's irrational.
Doesn't matter.
no, not if we
Historically,
slapped each other.
historically, it
Not
hasn't
if
been
we
that
slapped
long.
each other.
So so you are deliberately starving the children because 3 generations
No.
ago somebody slapped somebody.
No.
That's deliberate starvation.
No. Again, this is very flawed because you believe that allying with the U.S. would stop the starvation, which is not the case. All right,
You
can't.
said-
It wouldn't
you said-
stop. It would
you
create
said-
more problems than
You
solutions.
said- no, you said if we lift the sanctions, it would increase the quality of life of the North Koreans. So I'm saying, okay, what's stopping from lifting the sanctions? You're saying, oh, because somebody slapped somebody, or because the war is 3 generations ago. I'm saying, okay, but that's behind us. Let's move forward. There's no perfect history. We all wronged. Everybody wronged everybody sometime, and we still sometimes wrong each other. But you can't use that as an excuse to starve your children.
Have the Koreans wronged the Americans?
It doesn't matter. It's behind us. Many people.
No,
wait,
it is
wait.
because
Wait.
it's
It's a genuine question. Have the Koreans wronged the Americans?
I honestly don't know anything about the 3
No.
generations ago. I don't know.
The answer is the Koreans haven't done anything
That's
to the
fine.
United States. When you're
It's
asking,
irrelevant.
when you're asking about like the anti-American
I don't
sentiment,
care. Look, you're not going to convince me that because 3 generations ago something happened, I'm not going to talk. I'm going to be anti-American, and that's why I'm going to be sanctioned, and that's why my children are going to be starving. At this point,
no, that's not
Okay,
no
so-
because
it's an excuse to starve the children. I don't.
why aren't the sanctions lifted then?
I don't know.
If it's in the past, then it doesn't matter.
I don't know. According to her, it's because you ask her. I don't know anything about this.
No.
No, I don't know anything.
I want you to understand
No,
like the
no,
whole
no,
reason.
no.
The whole reason I'm asking this question is to draw a parallel here to like help you see. When she's mentioning people are anti-American, you're saying it's in the past. They're sanctioned today, and they're holding anti-American sentiment. Why doesn't the "it's in the past" affect the sanctions, and we just remove the sanctions because hey, it's in the past?
What's your solution? What do you,
Move the
I'm not proposing a solution.
no.
What I'm saying
I'm
is
proposing a solution. I'm proposing a solution. You have starving children, people being held in a country like a jail. I'm proposing a solution. She said we can lift the sanctions and raise the quality of life. So I'm saying, what's stopping us? Let's because they hate America. So stop it. Stop the nonsense.
what actually is stopping the sanctions from being lifted? Because I know that North Korea didn't
You have to
sanction
ask
itself,
her.
right?
You have to ask her. I don't know.
No.
No,
what do you mean?
Who's imposing the sanctions?
My standpoint is that they're sanctioned for no reason.
No.
They're
So-
sanctioned
okay,
because of some.
That's irrational. That's irrational. You have
Why are we being sanctioned? Why are they being sanctioned?
so you're saying there's no reason.
No. I'm not saying there's no reason, but at the same
Let's
time,
see, you follow
to
me.
be honest, are
being
you
honest,
saying
I
that the
don't know.
Koreans sanction themselves?
I don't know. No, I'm
Did the
not
Koreans
saying
did the
I'm not-
Koreans sanction themselves?
I didn't say that. I didn't say so.
What's the answer though?
I don't
If
know.
the Koreans sanction themselves,
I don't
this one is
know.
common sense. The Koreans did not sanction themselves.
I don't
They
know.
got sanctioned.
Yeah, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say they didn't get sanctioned.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm saying is the Koreans are being sanctioned.
Yeah.
That has a major impact on
Yeah.
them. It's
Yeah.
negative. It's hurtful.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
Yeah. You're not saying anything.
This is
Yeah, I agree.
Is it on the Koreans? Why is it on the Koreans to to sacrifice
Sacrifice what?
a large part of their culture,
What do you mean?
right?
What
As a
does that-
sovereign
what does that
nation.
mean? What does that
No,
mean?
as a sovereign nation.
What does that mean? What does that
Right.
mean? What did you just say?
Can I finish my
Sacrifice
point?
culture. Squared. Look, I'm gonna be leaving soon because I'm gonna.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
Let me
I'm about
step
to
out.
pee
Then. You guys continue.
I haven't gone to the bathroom in how long has it been? Almost 4 hours. I'm about to pee my panties. So
Thank you.
yeah. Anyway, look, Noni and Squared. Let me make Squared my friend too. Hold on.
I actually don't accept friend requests. My apologies.
That's fine.
I just float about.
It's fine.
But I actually have questions for both of you. I don't want this to look like I'm only poking at Mr. Slave.
I'd love to, but I'm streaming this for almost 4 hours. It's been really terrific. I enjoyed it. It's very stimulating. I love debating. You can continue talking to her and to talk to Noni. I'm gonna go now. 'Cause I need to
Take care. Take care.
All right, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you. See you around. Thank you, Noni.
All right. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye. All right. That was amazing. I really enjoyed it. Good debate. I wish I could stay, but my diapers need to be changed. Let me see. So this guy said nothing is complicated, not at all. The West has a grapist mentality others find unfavorable. That's all the issue. Did he just share his feelings about Netanyahu? World wars, diverting mankind from just order of Almighty and new world order emerged, costing hundreds of millions of innocent lives. Continue to. I don't know what you're saying, Birdman. I don't even know whose position you're sympathizing. Anyway, everyone, it's been terrific. I'm gonna go now. See you next time. Bye.